Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 1 of our story. If you like this What If story and want to see part 2, let me know in the comments below. Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, check the description for more great content and my playlist. This story was posted by 𝐶𝐶𝐻𝐼 on Wattpad. Now let's start. Flashback: Not all men are created equal. That is what I have learned at the age of the tender age of 4, as the world is blessed with abilities called quirks. As for the inequality terms, there are people who are not blessed and became one of the rarest but yet looked down so-called species of the earth. Shiba-san. Shiba-san. There is new video of All Might. Shiba, HM. But Izuku-san. Haven't we watched this like 100 times already? Izuku, who cares? He is the coolest superhero. Shiba, alright, I get it. Oh, All Might save more people on the fire. But Izuku, right. He is so cool. All Might, I is alright now. Why? Because I am here. Shiba mind, well, he carried a lot of people in one time. Izuku, I know, right. So cool. Once I get my quirk, I will become like him. In the hospital, Izuku is now getting his quirk checked up, and then suddenly the doctor is now there and checked his situation. BT, the shocking yet the sad truth came out, and then you should give it up. Clack clack as such. And just like that, a child's dream is crushed halfway, as his hopeless dream to become a hero is now endlessly mocked by his peers except for one person. Izuku? That is rude Kaken. Look, he is crying. Trying to defend a defenseless child, and Izuku tried to be a hero despite being hopeless as he is now, and then he is still trying to even do something, and then Izuku, if you don't stop, I won't forgive you. Stunned by his determination, which was still meaningless in the eyes of the ones who has powers and awakened there, then later Katsuki, or rather Kaken, and the lackeys then showed off their quirks, and then Katsuki, HMP, a quirkiness trying to be a hero. Izuku is then getting even more afraid, and then the lackeys attacked him and left him beaten up and bruised on the ground. Izuku POV: As for me, it was my last and great setback, as not all men are created equal. Shiba POV: I knew from the start that all sentient beings are not created equal. However, freedom is the right of all sentient beings, even us. We have the right to be free, and we don't have a right to enslave others. Alright, you take a shower now. Shiba, hi sensei. 𝐶𝐼 Sanada, the teacher and the current MSTR of the Ryujin temples Hiten Mitsurugi. The temple's purpose is to preserve the ancient arts and also the ancient styles of fighting and swordsmanship. Many of those who have become efficient fights often more efficient than heroes in the society. Almost all of the ones in Ryujin temple have weak quirks, so they learn how to fight, and many of the reasons is the inequality. 𝐶𝐼, get ready for your final day in middle school. Also, one more thing. Shiba, 𝐶𝐼, when you become a hero, remember this. You cannot always save one, even if it is in your reach. Sometimes you have to shed blood in order to save many too. It is a mere delusion to not kill someone to save others, but no. There are ones who need to be killed in order to save them all. Even if it is you. Shiba. Alright, I will remember that. But how did you know I want to be a hero? 𝐶𝐼, I are easy to read, child. Flutter. The phenomena of having quirks started around China, where the baby is born with luminous kind of a mutation as the time goes by, when supernatural became the normal. Some professions where every child becomes true. Now more and more in lives because easy and also difficult. Heroes are born from this phenomena, and now as it becomes real. Where there is light, there are also shadows, as villains are also born in this era. With great power comes great responsibility. Ben Parker, while Shiba is running around, as he is now seeing that he might be late, and now he is on his way, but then saw that there is a villain and a shark-like villain. And many heroes on the scene. Snap. Push 'em. Kamui Woods. Illegal using of powers and a crime during rush hour. You evil avatar. Shiba mind. I guess I can relate. But I am running late. As Woods tried to use one of his moves, suddenly a huge female hero just flew over and kicks the rings out of the big criminal. 𝐻𝐿ady, Canyon Cannon. Beaten bomb. Gaha. Shiba mind, talk about property damage. 𝐿ady, it's my debut today. So I am 𝐿ady. Pleasure be your butt quantance Shiba mind. Is that even necessary? Showing OFF your mountain butt. As the paparazzi swarms to get a lick on the butt pictures, and then Shiba then walked around and Izu saw him around, and then, Izuku, Shiba-san. I did not see you around. Shiba, me too, but kind of expected your presence here, and yeah, he Izuku, well, Shiba, don't look up Izuku, don't look up. Or did you already? Izuku, what did you have on your head Shiba-san? Shiba, nothing. And let us get to school now. We might be late. They then entered the Aldra Middle School, where they study as their final year for middle school, and there where the stuff to tackle is for career choice. However, so it is time for you to be serious for your future, so now I will pass out your forms for your future. However, flutter. As then the teacher then threw the papers up on the air and also make them rain, and he exclaimed and said, everyone here wants to take the hero course, right? The students then somehow explodes in excitement, and also their desires to be heroes, and also their quirks are shown aside from Katsuki, Izuku obviously, and Shiba, who is sleeping and looking out the window, and then, yes. Great quirks everyone. But using it in school is against the rules. Katsuki, sensei. Don't put us all in one category. I don't aim lowlife these lowlives, I can't believe you Katsuki. Katsuki, you should all shut up. Alright. Bakugo is going to UA, teach. The national school. Its standardized rank is 79. The competition is crazy. Even for one spot. Katsuki, this is why you are just extras. I aced the mock exams. I'm the only one qualified for UA. I will even surpass All Might. And become the top hero. Shiba, I would like to stop you right there, inbred Pomeranian. Katsuki, Dichke the F you say, Shiba, you scored 89 on the mock exams I scored, I am also qualified in UA. In terms of quirk, hand-to-hand skill, and also perception of combat. And while you are just running your mouth to feel superior. Oh, also Shiba is actually set for UA. After the mock exams straight in UA. What? No way. I mean, if that is true. Katsuki has some tough competition form here. Katsuki, DMNU blades. You think you can suddenly, almost like a flash step which caused him to sit down, suddenly form surprise, and then Shiba, and then he said with a smirk somehow to imitate Katsuki's demeanor. Katsuki, tackle. Shiba, that's what I thought. He just walked back to his seat, and then he sits back down, and then the teacher then said to him, it seems indeed 2 of our students re-heading to UA. Oh wait. It's 3. Midoriya is also going there. Snap, a momentary silence which made Shiba huff in anger, and then suddenly the class started laughing at Midoriya's face, and then, ha ha ha. Wait, Midoriya. Really, he can't take the hero course by just studying. Midoriya, that rule does not exist anymore, the rule is, Katsuki, 𝐶𝐿𝐴. Boom. Destroyed his table with slam of the hand, and also Katsuki's quirk explosion, and he grabbed his collar and he then yelled at his face with a condescending tone and mockery. Katsuki, forget about the shitty quirks. You are quirkless. So why bother being on the same level as me, ha? Shiba, why Bakugo? Izuku, wait. I did not mean to try and compete with you. It's just my dream since I was a kid. At least I should try. Katsuki, the F-way mean try. Katsuki, are you playing? Suddenly the heaviest air pressure of bloodlust can be felt across the room, which made everyone shiver to their boots, and even Katsuki, and who felt Shiba's hand on his shoulders and also his whisper on his voice saying, Shiba, sit. As then they sit back down, and then also the teacher is trying to act brave but could not, as his feet are trembling too and such. After classes, Izuku is now packing his notebooks, and then Shiba headed towards Izuku, and then he said to him, Shiba, I'll head out to buy some drinks, which ones do you like? Izuku, I want the water only. Shiba, alright. As Shiba left is where hell let loose, and later Katsuki snatched his notebook and said, Izuku, wa, Katsuki, we are not yet finished. Deku. Katsuki, what's that? Huh. Hero analysis for the future. Fta, seriously Midoriya, haha. Izuku, come on, give it back. As Katsuki then destroyed the notebook himself and burnt it, which Izuku is shocked he did such a thing in front of him, and then threw it out of the floor and into the pond which is just around that place. Katsuki, 𝐻MP, most top heroes have legends inscribed from their school days. I want to be the first one to go to UA and get there better than that face blades. Well, I'm a perfectionist. So just in case. SSSSSS Katsuki, don't apply to UAite. TCH seriously try to say something. And don't he must not be in touch with reality yet. Poor thing. Katsuki, OH, and also, if you really want to be a hero that bad, why just go do a swan dive off the roof on top of the building hoping have a good quirk on your next life? That is a bombshell he just dropped on Izuku, which then later he turns back in anger and fear, but Katsuki sent a message with some pops of his explosion which made Izuku helpless. Until when Katsuki opened the door, he was suddenly punched so hard that he flew to the other side of the classroom by Shiba with brass knuckles. KK beatings KK. Katsuki, the Rattly boom crash. Katsuki was slammed on the wall just near the window and then also shattered the window, which made his head just outside. Shiba. Shiba then slammed his head on the wall and the other on the floor. This shocked Izuku that Shiba got actually angry, who is usually calm and then also level-headed, and just witnessed Shiba crashing out. Clatter Katsuki, DMNU Hitokiri. Suddenly with a burst of speed he grabbed him by his neck and pushed him to an angle that he would fall with one move, which is to let go, making him hang face first to the ground for the 3 floor, which would snap his neck on impact for sure. And then Katsuki, B-blades. Shiba, what did you say? To Izuku. Katsuki, what is with you DMNFD defending him this, he gripping his neck even tightly and then choking him almost to deathly manner. Then Shiba repeated what he said in summary. Shiba, you told Izuku to commit suicide, did you? All to not let him try to get into his dream school. Just much of a trasher you. Katsuki, get off me Shiba, once I let go of you here, you will be the one swan diving off the high place. Would you like that? Katsuki then flinched at this fact, which then he condescended, and later Shiba just threw him inside but slamming him onto another wall, and suddenly, shink. Katsuki, while covering his mouth, stabbed him on the sides to give him his final warning, which he would surely get, as Shiba suddenly summoned a sword with his quirk and BLD dripping out, but it just disappeared to get rid of the evidence. Shiba, 𝐻MP. Let this be your final warning. Any harm goes to Izuku will be punished by me until he is ready to defend himself. Got that? Katsuki reluctantly nodded, and he released him from the stab, which the BLD splattered from his guts, and a second later it is healed. Katsukimiden. Hitokiri. Katsuki's clothes are even fixed by his quirk, and then he saw that Izuku is not around, and he rushed out of the classroom and then went on and looked for him. Wash. He rushed out of the school and then he dashed away in his speed, and he tries to find Izuku to maybe comfort him or maybe even possible to save him from any trouble. Shiba POV on that day. I saw Izuku cry. He cried after he received his news of not having a quirk right after the day I was checked by Sakairo-sensei. After I awakened my quirk, molecular manipulation, but was too powerful for me to handle it now. Izuku knows me well and even knows Sakairo-sensei, and even offered him to student with me the Hiten Mitsurugi. But he declined, as he said it is not part of his dream. I accepted that. But DMN it Izuku. At this point I might not be able to save you. Clack 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 clacksy, as then he is just in time to just arrive at Izuku when he was being violated by the slime villain, which then later squelch. Another one. And also this guy. Shiba, trace. On. He summoned a sword from thin air and he dodged some of the tendrils which he just slashed in a very quick way, which Shiba then saw an opening, and he swings his blade and caused a huge wind blast towards the eye which caused him to go blind. But a very respectable backup then arrived before he could finish him. Hushum clank. The slime villain was interrupted by the manhole and was hit on its head, and then a man appeared. Shiba, All Might. All Might, everything is alright now. Why? Because I am here. The slime then tried to attack All Might, but he ducked down and went forward, and he saw another strike that is attacking him, but then Shiba then saw it trying to strike All Might, and Shiba almost by instinct then parried the attack and slashed it to pieces, giving All Might the opening. All Might, Texas. Smosh. While he just throws a punch which caused the wind erasure within the tunnel, then almost like a shot, which also the slime was blown away by the wind itself. Shum. Shiba covers his face from the dust, and he is also impressed by the power of All Might, and also he then saw the slime villain gone, and then like a splash. Splash. Shiba. Izuku as Shiba caught Izuku before he fell to the ground, and then he tried to slap his face a little to get him to wake up. Slap lap tap tap. Shiba. Izuku, come on. All Might, he is unconscious, young man. Get him away from here first, let us try to wake him up. Shiba, hi. But Shiba still has his sword unsheathed also while he is holding Izuku, but held with professional ease, but All Might said. All Might, young man, let me handle the other one, you take away your sword first. Shiba, oh, it's unsheathed. Thanks for reminding. Sealing the katana close while All Might is just trying to wake up Izuku, and then Shiba contemplates his actions somehow as he then said. Shiba mind, this day I lost my cool overall. Sigh, this is not like me. I should have maybe calmed my nerves before eating out a blade into Katsuki, but well, I guess I get to meet the legend himself. But, Shiba mind, isn't he tapping really fast? All Might, hey, thank goodness. Shiba, and he starts to freak out. Izuku, UWO. All Might, sorry I involved you two in a villain fight. Usually I don't get this kids of mistakes. But the sewers where the villain goes is very complicated. Shiba, oh, it's fine. We were just in a wrong place and a wrong time. Izuku is still freaking out to see All Might in the flesh, but Shiba is actually somehow still calm, but inside he is somehow amazed and freaking out too. All Might, but thanks for the backup there. And I captured him safely. Young man, what is your name? Shiba, Shiba Ryuji. Pleasure to meet you, All Might. Izuku, wait, the notebook. Autograph, Shiba, here. He gave Izuku his notebook, which then it is now signed by All Might himself, and even for fun Shiba also gave him his signature and also his other words, which is a simple, you're welcome. Izuku, thank you so much. This will be a family heirloom. All Might, okay. Well then I will be sending this to the police. Thank you and good luck. BD. All Might is now away, and as he jumped so high with his super strength, and then he left some dust around form that impact, and then Shiba then filed a little, and then Shiba, All Might is such an amazing person, right? Izuku is not here. Shiba mind, Izuku. Wait, don't tell me. Shiba, Izuku, what the hell? As Izuku is flying with All Might, but he is hanging on for dear life for one question for All Might, which then Izuku and All Might landed, and then he asked him. Izuku, see, can a quirkless person like me become like you? A simple question, but who knows that this kind of question will become the spark, or the one that will push him off the edge of his small hopes he now has. What will it be? Izuku, can a quirkless like me become like you? While then he asked that question, which is the question of affirmation, if the dream he had is just a delusion or a vision, he asked so for the confirmation. Izuku, I am always made fun of and being bullied for no quirk. And also, maybe that is why. But saving people is so cool. Saving people with a smile. I want to be a hero like you. SSSSSSSSSS. It turns out while Izuku is talking about his wishes as a hero and becoming like All Might, and then Izuku is flabbergasted from the appearance All Might took from muscular to a skinny might. Izuku, Shiba, DMNIT Izuku. Where the hell are you? Izuku. Izuku. Shiba is looked around the city where All Might most likely flew off and also the direction of the jump and then goes just there. Push him. Shiba, from the direction of the jump. They must be around here. As Shiba then arrived almost like a flash step in and Shiba then starts to walk around and looking for Izuku once again while walking around the city. Shiba mind, seriously where did they go? Meanwhile with Izuku who is still shocked at All Might's deflation and then All Might looked at Izuku who looked very confused and then also deadpanned and then. Izuku, up until now. Where? A fake. Why are you skinny? All Might. I am All Might. All Might suddenly coughed BLD which even shocked Izuku to the core and then screamed also from the horror of sorts and then. Izuku, no way ye. All Might, you see those guys constantly flexing on the pools? Yeah, you can compare me to that. Izuku's All Might image is somehow shattered form the sight of skinny might which then he though all of that positive way of All Might being fearless and saves people with a smile. Skinny might, fearless smile. Interesting. Well now that you have seen me young man I will tell you the truth. However do not tell anyone of this one. Even your close friend young Shiba. FWP. Skinny might, 5 years ago. I got this wound here from a villain attack. Destroyed my lung. And full gastrectomy. And the after effects of the surgeries. Left me haggard. My hero work ability is now limited to 3 hours a day. Izuku, in a way. That 5 years ago. Was that toxic chainsaw? Skinny might, you are well informed but however. That punk cannot even land a single hit on me. This info is not well known by the public. Because I asked not to announce it. I will save people with a smile and a brave smile indeed the symbol of peace cannot be thwarted by evil. The reason I laugh is because I need to distract myself. From my inner fears and hero pressure. Shiba 10 years old. With great power comes great responsibility. Remember that Izuku skinny. Professionals are always risking their lives. It is a bad lie to say, you can be a hero without powers. Izuku is shocked even more on what All Might said to him as also a revelation of his answers and a supposed perfect answer to his questions. But he is still refusing to believe it but well he is still a child after all. Not like his best friend Shiba who is constantly only reminding him also that a world of heroes is very violent through the saying. With great power comes great responsibility. Shiba already reminded him this way but not saying he could not be a hero but the responsibilities of being a hero itself. Skinny might. If you admire saving people there is a good substitute. You can be a policeman. Though it may be ridiculed as villain delivers but it is a fine occupation. It is not bad to dream but sometimes we have to face our own situations as well as be realistic. Izuku stood there in shock still almost gonna break down and suddenly a head chop then later suddenly he flinched and Shiba is finally behind him and then. Shiba, did you pray today Izuku? Shiba, come on let's go down. Meanwhile now as they are about to go down from the stairs and then later they heard a huge explosion on the area and also from far away and then later. Black smoke can be seen on the direction on the northwest and Izuku looked at it in also some horror shock and then. Izuku, a villain. Any heroes on sight? Shiba, wait Izuku. Tap Shiba then grabbed him by his shoulders and then he then proceeds to say that line once again and then. Shiba. With great power comes great responsibility. If you go there you will risk yourself. Shiba knowing Izuku so well and then Izuku then gets his hands off his shoulders and said. Izuku, aren't you also gonna say that to me? Shiba, say what? Izuku. I can't be a hero. Shiba, Izuku, that is not Izuku, not another word. Please, be. He dashed off and he slammed the rooftop door going down and fast enough and Shiba just sighed in frustration and then he sets out to follow Izuku before he does something idiotic. Shiba mind, that is not what I am saying baka broccoli. Meanwhile where the explosion was the villain which it was again the slime villain again which it escaped from All Might by All Might's accident which then it is now wreaking havoc and it has a new victim. The new victim is Katsuki Bakugo himself now entailed and is about to absorb the guy which then, Death Arms took action first. It is holding a child as a hostage. Bing! Death arms, you'd man coward. He rushed towards the slime and punched him on the side, but after the hit then he starts to make Death arms be stuck before he got slapped away by the slime. Damn. Death arms see some. While other heroes try to get into the mix but was about to get hit before they dodged away from the hit. Slime, don't get close to me. Katsuki. I won't let a sewer like you. Swallow me you up. Crackle. Doom boom boom. A huge explosion was then fired by Bakugo in desperation to get away from the slime, and it is actually the cause of the explosion itself on the Tachuan marketplace where currently the heroes duck to cover themselves forms such a powerful explosion which the slime is not even affected by the explosion but instead though that he hit the jackpot. As the heroes are trying to call the heroes with a good quirk to take care of the situation in everyone's hands-free full while others are trying to get Katsuki away from the slime but the slime is even more alert than usual and it's actually stronger than what is thought. Kamui Woods, we have to contain the damage. Meanwhile now Skinny Might now arrived at the scene and saw the slime villain itself and then he somehow regretted his mistake as he was distracted by his time limit. All Might mind, it was that time. I was too distracted by my time limit and now Dekar meanwhile again to Izuku as he saw the slime villain and he is shocked to see the slime villain also which escaped All Might and then. Izuku mind, that slime escaped All Might. Shiba, with great power comes great responsibility now seeing Katsuki's suffering expression suddenly Izuku then suddenly dashed to try and save Katsuki but however. Death arms, SHG you idiot. Stop. Stop right now. Izuku ran without even thinking or rather the body is just moving on its own without hesitation and then. Slime, that kid. Katsuki, Deku. Izuku midden, why did I run out? Why did I run? Why? Slime, explode and die. Then. Izuku suddenly threw out his bag at the slime which some of the components hit the eye and starts to scrap around the slime to try and get Katsuki out. Katsuki, why you? Izuku, I don't know. I don't know. I just moved on my own. Katsuki looked shocked to the core after Izuku said the words himself and then. Izuku, you look like. You needed saving. Katsuki mind, slime. Just a little longer don't get in my way. Looking up as someone is about to slam down as it looked like death is coming towards him which he stalled but heroes did not notice but only the slime noticed as the BLD lust is directed to him. Death arms, he is gonna die in vain. Is he suicidal from the air suddenly someone slammed into the battle with a sword and slashed the arm and suddenly with an impact also and the wind around him. Clang. As the wind made the other heroes stop on their tracks and they're shocked to see that another joined in which also has a sharp sword and then. Slime, you damned brat. Shiba mind, Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu. Ryutswizen. Slime mind, how? Such a powerful slash. Where did he even get a sword? Slime, now die you brat. As another strike is about to strike Shiba and then he saw it coming towards him but then he sensed a butter warrior spurt coming his way and he smirked. Shiba, slash shink, wo death arms, what the hell is that kid? Shiba slashed around the slime so fast as his arms are practically a blur and he made the slime not even regenerate even fast and such causing his hold off Katsuki weaken and now. Squelch. He got Katsuki out of the hold now which impressed the heroes so much and Shiba called out someone as he shouted as the slime is still holding on to Katsuki. Katsuki, get OFFE. Shiba, All Might. Do it Nuu. All Might, pros are always risking their lives. Am I a hypocrite if I did not do my part too? Detroit. 𝐀𝐮𝐿. Cisa. Suddenly All Might in. Blur then dashed in and delivered the final blow eliminating the slime's appearance and even also get the fire away as the wind blows hard while Shiba covers Katsuki and Izuku by himself. Shum. Such an air pressure is fired from All Might's fist, which then caused everything to really clear out, and for the wildfires of the marketplace now reduced to ember flames and small flames in one punch of the man himself. As it started to rain and everyone in awe of All Might's power form a punch, which also caused an updraft from the punch, which also caused the weather to change form a single punch. No way. He changed the weather with only his hands. Wait, and also the kid. He is awesome too. He must be a future hero. Kaidi. What is your name? Shiba. All Might. Hey, enjoy the attention for now since you worked with me in this case. As the crowd then cheers on for Shiba and All Might, as then the heroes then later tapped Shiba as then while the others are getting the slimes, but Shiba then suddenly hardened them with his quirk to just make them be collected. 𝐶𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 Death Arms. Hey you. Shiba. Death Arms. You interfered hero work and you used your quirk, Shiba. Illegally, yes, and yet you did not question yourselves and also why two people needed to interfere you so-called work. And also me and All Might did your job in one blow and a quick manner. If that is what you call recklessness, it is negligence on your part. Now if you excuse me and Izuku right here. Shiba then took Izuku to his shoulders and carried him, and then he walked towards All Might, and then he looked in and he is busy with the press as any celebrity hero would do, and then he left without a word. While some heroes are gazing Bakugo because of his quirk, and Bakugo looked on Izuku and Shiba, who is now leaving, and he had some thoughts. Katsuki mind. He came down out of nowhere and started piecing out the slime like nothing. Diamenu. The sad reality of everything as Izuku got called as reckless, but Katsuki is praised by his explosive power quirk. Shiba did not like to hear any more of that and he walks away now. Why? We are not yet done with you, kid. Shiba then later gets Izuku to the side to only grab the hand that was grabbing his shoulder, and the hero was shocked to say the last, and he threw the hero to the ground with almost just a sweep of his foot, and he just rounds his arm and just placed him down. Gee. Shiba. Itchy. Shiba then went on and took Izuku on his back and then left the scene, leaving the hero embarrassed and down, and also then ridiculed a little. Shiba mind. In this world, as now a hero work is almost a public service with a play of a celebrity kind of status. If they break on TV, then they break and lose their careers. Since when did heroes become such incompetent people? It is now sunset and now everything is now settled as the marketplace is now being repaired and Izuku and Shiba is now awake, and then the two are quiet as they are looking on the ground, while Shiba then later heard Izuku say something, and then Izuku, Shiba-san. I'm sorry what I said earlier. Tap a quick shoulder tap, and then Izuku then looked up and Shiba, and then he said something once again and told him one thing. Shiba, sometimes we challenge our circumstances, however always in what happens when we do not face it is disaster. Just like now. You tried to save someone without any quirk. Izuku just looked down and he somehow regretted that action, but then Shiba then said to Izuku something that would lighten him up again. Shiba, however that action earlier you did is something what heroes lack so much these days. Even without any quirk. You are far more heroic than anyone. Izuku, Shiba-san. All Might just appeared out of nowhere and greeted the two friends 𝗧𝗟 now walking home. All Might, I am here. Izuku, he. All Might. Weren't you swarmed by reporters? Shiba, how did you even, All Might, he. Escaping is easy. Why? Because I am all poof. Squelch. Izuku, he. Shiba is kind of shocked at the skinny version of All Might, which then he uttered some words to him, and also Izuku is also shook that Shiba is here at also. Bad time, but then. Shiba, skinny. Skinny Might, PFFFT Beach. That is such a good name, Ahem. Shiba here. Gave him a piece of cloth and then lets him wipe his mouth, formed the build he spat, and then All Might then said to them something. All Might, one thing young Shiba. Keep this a secret. Shiba, all right. But first, why are you here? Skinny Might, I came here to thank both of you and to correct myself and give some advice. Shiba is listening in and he seemed to not know what just happened, and he priced it together when Izuku looked down and also frustrated and angry, and then he just nodded. Skinny Might, if it weren't for you telling your life story, I would have been a phony. Izuku, wait please, it was my fault in the first place. I disturbed your work, caused that villain to escape. And also talked big even when I am quirkless. Skinny might, and yet it was you who is quirkless that moved my heart once again. Top heroes leave, legends form their school days. And many of them end with the same words nonetheless. Their bodies moved on their own before I could think. As Izuku is about to cry once again, as All Might just said some words that would now finally push Izuku towards his dream despite quirkless, and then All Might finally said the words he needed to hear. Skinny might, you can be a hero. Shiba looked at Izuku with a smile as he finally got something to push him forward towards his dream and Shiba then later said to All Might, Shiba, I said to Izuku all the time. With great power comes great responsibility. I needed to remind him what a hero must endure and his dream on the tip of it. But he needs this so much. While Izuku is still crying out his tears in happiness, and Shiba looked at Izuku in happiness when Izuku is going to be pushed towards his true dream of becoming a hero. Izuku, this is the story of me becoming the world's greatest hero. Shiba, and me becoming All Might, the #1 hero and also the pinnacle example of strength, power and heroism. Age, unknown, quirk, unknown too, but yet he still appears in the heroic world and took fame for his powers. As his appearance, the villain works and also crime rates have reached at its lowest possible point of activity. He became the symbol of peace in personal and also in name as well. Shiba. And yet that man said to Izuku, who is hopeless and also a quirkless who aspired to become a hero, the words everyone needed. Skinny might, you can be a hero. However, the shocker comes in. Skinny might, and also, even you are worthy to inherit my power. Shiba was taken by surprise, which something is not usual of what would everyone heard even on his temple. He only knows the inheritance of the sword but not inheriting the quirks. Shiba mind. Was that I heard? Inherit his powers. It is not like that, right? Izuku. Inherit why your power? Skinny might, you should have seen your face. It's a suggestion. But let's talk about this. See here, young man. Skinny might, what I am saying is, do you want to accept my power? Shiba, hold on. You mean inheriting your powers? Does that mean, Skinny might? Yes, indeed, young Shiba. However, this is another top secret of my personal info. My quirk. And yes, my powers indeed. The tabloids called my quirk, speed and boost. Every question on the interviews I avoided that question with a joke and for funny laughs. All Might, the symbol of peace, must be a born natural hero. But now you too. I will tell you the truth. Skinny might, my quirk was passed down to me like a sacred torch. Shiba mind. I knew I hit the spot. But this is incredible to think it can exist like this, but how long? Izuku, passed on you. Izuku stood there shocked with Shiba, who has first heard this kind of truth from All Might himself, hearing this for the first time. Skinny might. Yes indeed, and the next will be you. But wait. You? 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, your quirk has been debated for decades and also in the internet. And also now seen as one of the wonders of Earth. But I don't exactly understand how passing down a quirk is possible, and also no only is unheard of, and also no one brought this argument up since this kind of quirk is such a mystery and no one has ever had this kind of quirk. Shiba mind. He is mumbling his thoughts out again. All Might, you always start with denial, huh? Nonsense. I may have a lot of secrets, but I never ever lie. This is my power. I was crowned by the power called One for All. Izuku, One for All. Skinny might. Yes. One person gains power and cultivates it and then passes it to another. And the 𝐶𝐻𝐿 continues, and this power is the fruit of the many voices seeking out and heroic hearts. Izuku, it's so important, but why? Shiba mind. A kind of power that is cultivated by one before the passing of the torch. This kind of power is such a gift for many. But yet now I can't help but think about the origins of it. If this kind of power exists, then it made sense to keep such power a secret. Will power and might and also a heroic heart. He narrowed his eyes, form his conclusion, which then what Izuku is about to shoulder to himself, and then. Shiba mind. This is gonna be difficult for Izuku this day forward if he accepts it. Izuku, If it is that much important, then why would you do this for me? 𝐻𝐮𝐻𝐽, I am originally looking for an heir, and thought if it is you or Shiba to accept these powers. In fact, even as a quirkless fanboy you are even more heroic than the rest there. Izuku then about to tear up again, and then All Might, and then he said, All Might, just kidding. But well, this one choice is up to you. Shiba 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Shiba, no. If anyone else to have your powers, it is gonna be this nerd broccoli here. Tap Izuku. Shiba, Izuku, remember the words. If you make this choice, in every choice you make I'll have your back as always. And you will have mine. Izuku, please. I will be in your care. 𝐻𝐮𝐻𝐽, a quick reply. I knew you already made a decision. Shiba, then this time, will accept training with me now in the Ryujin temple. Izuku Midoriya. 𝐻𝐮𝐻𝐽, oh, I see your swordsmanship. Shiba nodded, and then Izuku then also nodded at him to begin his train with Shiba at first, then to All Might the passing of training, and now Izuku has 2 teachers. The next morning. Izuku, 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐿. All Might, hey, this fridge is so comfortable to sit on. Shiba mind, Diamen. Izuku Gambear. As Shiba is now watching Izuku training with All Might in strength, and now this is like the first day of the training for his muscles, and All Might is for the muscle building and Shiba is for the cardio. Izuku, drop. All Might have it moved a little, well, it would be more comfortable. Izuku, that is because you weigh 274 pounds. All Might, nope, I lost weight in this form, I am only 255 now, Izuku, well, why am I pulling trash around this beach here? All Might, well, because you are not fit, Izuku, after the things you said yesterday. All Might, I meant your body. My quirk, one for all, has many people's physical powers compiled to one. A weak body cannot hold it all. So you might explode to pieces once you made an impact. Izuku, explode. All Might, Shiba Shounen's body can hold it at a small percentage looking at his physique. For now. Shiba, it is embarrassing, so what I am gonna say is, reach this kind of physique somehow. Shiba, so piece it together now, Izuku. Izuku, so well. I will pick up trash here in order to get buff, or at least as buff as Shiba-san. All Might, yes. But that is not all. Also, I have heard from Shiba Ryuji when we messaged each other on a social media, or rather my private social media. I asked him where could be the best to train you for your physical fitness training, and we might just also get the best of his and my training. He told me about this beach and found on the internet it has been like this for years. Izuku, I see, well, due to the current some deadris have got here, and now later on it has been used as a dump site. All Might, heroes are way too focused on their flashy performances nowadays. All Might, but the core of hero work is voluntarism. But we must not forget this kind of core. And now he squashed the refrigerator flat, showing the horizon of the beach, and then as also air pressure then wides up a little from the strength of the man, and he said, All Might, you will restore this horizon for this area. This is your first step to become a real hero. Izuku mind. My first step is cleaning this mess. All of this. Shiba, yes. All of it. All Might, young Midoriya, you are going to your right. Izuku, hi. Because that SI were also where you studied. If I knew I was going then, I would be. Shiba, Izuku, remember this. Sometimes the hardest guts can do anything and anything unless one has the appropriate materials to do so. I am going to UA because I knew you will be going there. So in that case I will train with ya. Izuku, and these trash. Shiba, that will be yours to do. Izuku, Nandeo. Shiba, well, if I use my quirk to chon this beach it would be clean almost in minutes, and also not wasting time. We have to go to UA in 10 months. Using that 10 months wisely and non-stop after school will be your training. Plus on mine I will teach you at least how to fight. So which one do you want to do? Izuku, I want to fight like All Might. Shiba, very well, I will teach you some basic boxing and kicks. That is all I would do. All Might, that leads to this. Aim to pass American Dream Plan. All Might the shows Izuku and Shiba his training plan, which was actually form All Might himself to train Izuku with, and adding Shiba's papers also on how he will train Izuku. All Might, it's a plan to make your trash cleaning training more efficient. You will adjust to your plan accordingly. Shiba, also I have this combat training here between on trash cleaning just between there. So that you reflexes will work in, as well as I will throw also this balloons at you or a plastic weight ball. Izuku, even my bedtime. All Might, actually it is very tough. We can adjust if you wanna. But if not, are you sure? Izuku, I will. Of course. I will work harder than others. And now every after classes is now Izuku's grind time. As Izuku is now starting his training, and a hellish one indeed for his Weika body, and now Shiba is also practicing his swings, 500 swings per session before Izuku does to the pile of trashed about on end. Skinny Might, move it to the park entrance. Move it to the truck. As then Izuku is now carrying the tire up on his shoulder while running, and then he drops down and recovers back and went back towards to the truck and park entrance. As he goes back, a RBB ball is then thrown by Shiba, but Izuku almost got hit, but he was startled. Izuku, WA Shiba, come on. As classes go by now, which Izuku is now dazed by the intense training methods too, especially the morning training with Shiba to do the Tai Chi part, and also hand-to-hand combat training. Simple ones to go by as kata, and then Izuku then follows him through. Back in classes now, as Izuku is somehow dazed by and also distracted for training later on after classes, and Shiba noticed it and then snapped his finger and it woke up Izuku. Shiba then winked to wake him up with his body language, and then all is normal. Back in the beach now after the changed his outfits, and Shiba does his too and begins the training once again, and then while he is now pushing a tire, and All Might then saw his struggle and he just blooped at Shiba, who looked somehow deadpanned, and then Skinny Might. As more and more training form Shiba in the morning and All Might in the afternoon. Form runs and to more kata, and also demonstration of a punch in a martial arts way or karate way on a punch, and morning workouts with Shiba. Shiba is now making Izuku perfect some karate punch combos on the punching bag Shiba made form his quirk. Many more of his activities are now on grind mode, and Izuku is still cleaning at his free time. Trying to lift a barbell on a chest press, but a bad idea, which he is not yet used to, even the weight of the air itself, not the bells itself. The grind again on the months to come with All Might and Shiba, as Shiba then now spars with Izuku in the morning with only the techniques he have taught Izuku so far. Shiba, again. Izuku I. Push him. While again sparring before 7 o'clock, and then breakfast, then bath and classes as usual, then before such going into training on the afternoon. The routine has been going on far now, as Izuku is now still taking out huge chunks of trash for the training of his cardio number 2 aside from Shiba's combat training and reflex training, and now after some time now even carrying All Might on his back is now possible on Izuku's training up on the stairs to tame his legs and upper body. Tap 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 tap. Drop. Skinny Might, hey. We only have 3 months left. You wanna quit? Relax. As Izuku struggles on the ground, and then Skinny Might notice something. Skinny Might 9 mind, is he overworked? My pass the exam American Dream Plan was adjusted for you so you could also make it in time for the entrance exams. Skinny Might then realized, and then he said to him in a serious matter, Skinny Might, you are not following the plan, are you? You know, overdoing it will only backfire. Do you want to pass? Izuku, of course I do. But passing is not enough, and now I have to work harder than anyone. Or else I won't be able to catch up. I want to be like you. The greatest hero like you. Skinny Might mind, he is looking way ahead, All Might, you proactive fanboy. I like that about ya. But you must not rush things. But I accept your thoughts. Now let this old man readjust the plan. Izuku, but you are not that old. All Might, Now on the 10th month, and now as Skinny Might arrives at the place where to meet Izuku, and as he went off from the truck, and he heard a scream from a certain broccoli, and Shiba then smiled as he saw the fruits of an effort of a young man now after the finished his mission and his training now and then. Izuku, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Skinny might. 𝐻𝐻. He cleaned more than what I instructed. Seriously, not even a speck of something is there. Finished in a last minute. Oh my. All might, goodness. Push him. All might, good work. Izuku, all might. I did it. Shiba, Izuku. Thank goodness, but holy gods. May Amaterasu bless you with such goodness. All might, both of you really surprised me. You DMN entertainers. Come on. Take a look. Looking at the previous image and what Izuku was before, and now his body is how shredded and also muscular and yet also somehow just fit, but unlike Shiba who somehow built up his muscles and then. Shiba, WHOA. You were like a DMN stickman before Izuku. That was 10 months ago, you know. Izuku. All might. Though there is more of mirage of something, but now. You have become more fitting. Izuku. I feel like cheating. I'm too privileged. Shiba, Izuku. You know, fortune favors the bold. You must act more bolder now as you should gain more confidence of yourself. All might, now. It is time for the awarding. Izuku, HAI. Snap. All Might then plucked his hair and then he told some of the words he was given before Ahei got one for all, or so what Shiba believed. All Might, I was once told this one too, but the quality is different. Between the ones who received by luck and ones by hard working. Take this to heart, this one is the power you earned through this hard work. As then he forwarded his hand which is holding a piece of his hair and Shiba is already cringing for Izu who is still oblivious and then. All Might did this. Izuku, Shiba, bah, no way, ha. All Might, actually it does not matter, but as long as you take in my DNA. Izuku, this is not what I imagined. Now the time of the exam has now come. Shiba is with Izuku now and he is now ready for some action and he sure has studied well also with Izuku as for the possible exams for UA and then. As they're walking towards the gates of UA which is now open and then Shiba then tapped his shoulder and then he walked beside him and then. Shiba, nervous. Izuku, I never got to test out his powers. Shiba, I see. Well, it will come soon, I mean you took in his DNA. Izuku, yeah, F out of my way Deku, blades. Shiba, Obakugo. Katsuki, teach. I will get you for sure for what you Fing did. Now move. Shiba, HMP could not be more polite. Izuku, sigh, he is always like this, I don't know why. Shiba, well, he is just a prick with a stick up his dick hole. Oof, painful. Well, Izuku, hurry up, we have to move in. Izuku, hi. Shiba, remember you worked hard for this. Now then I shall go inside first. Later after the written exams. Shiba is now heading inside UA and he is now on his way to the orientation room and the written exam is already done. Shiba is now heading towards the area or rather a theater where the orientation is being handled and then. Shiba, oh. Izuku. Good seeing you here. Izuku, oich. Shiba-san. Shiba, did you do well on your tests? Izuku, hi. I did, it is actually manageable. Shiba, glad to hear you are doing well. Be more confident sometimes too right now. Yeri, a step closer to your dream. Izuku, Shiba-san, why do you want to go to UA? Shiba, who is gonna watch your back if I am not here? Izuku, ah, thanks. Clink. To all examinees. Here. Welcome to my live performance. Everybody say hey. Silence. Shiba, ooh, nice vibes. Young man. Thanks. And man. What a tough crowd. Izuku, present mic. Now for the listeners out there. I will give you a quick rundown of the exams. Are you ready? Yeah. Shiba. I. Izuku, the voice hero, present mic. I listen to him in the radio every week. Shiba, so that was the guy behind the radio I sometimes listen, huh? Katsuki, shut up. Present mic, as the application said. You will participate the 10-minute mock battle. Bring anything. After this, you will be assigned at your designated battle stations. Katsuki, so they're not letting even friends to work together. Shiba, saying what it is. Izuku, We ahem consecutive numbers but different battlegrounds. Present mic. Now in each battle stations each have these obstacles. Each of them has OE points on each of them. Use your individual quirk to defeat the enemies. And of course, do not hurt the others. Or do anything anti-hero. Okay. I have a question. End the printout. There are 4 kinds of villains. If it is a misprint, it will be a great shame for you. And you frizzly hair, Shiba, there is a reason why it is not discussed here, sir. However, we are not yet there for the discussion. Be patient. Right, I apologize. Present mic, thanks. Listener. Now as for the 4th one. Is a 0-pointer. So refrain from even engaging to it. It is just a gimmick that will cause some trouble. Don't bother. Does that answer your question, listener? Hi. Thank you very much. Shiba Mind 0, talk about overly strict. Well, I guess someone has that kind of trait indeed to deal with things. Present mic, now. I shall leave you with this quote from Napoleon Bonaparte. True heroism consists of being superior to the ills of life. Ove and beyond. Plus ultra. Now Shiba is in the exam practice location C with Izuku actually where then he is now stretching his body before any kind of work and also he did not stretch at morning. Shiba, 𝐶𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. I did not stretch enough or did not really stretch in the morning. 𝐶𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 Shiba. Now then. FDZism Shiba then placed it on his hip and then he is now ready and just rolls his head around for the purpose of the good body conditions and then. Shiba Mind. Now then. Let's do this. 𝐶𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 Shiba. Alright, that's the spot. Alright. Trace on. I am now placed on his waist and now he is ready to fight or rather take the UA test. And then he later heard present mic on the top and said, "Oh. It is really like a city. I wonder how many of training areas like this here." Shiba Mind. 10 minutes of intense battling for a test or somewhat like that. It will be hard and draining for some and not. Is that Izuku? Oh, he was bothered by glasses. Shiba then went towards the glasses guy and then later tapped his shoulder and he smiles a little and then. Tap. Oh wait, it's you. Shiba, though. Relax a bit, she is doing some good breathing exercise. Not really something you should focus on intently. Besides, he just wanna talk. But he might distract her. Shiba. Izuku, not now for now, alright. We have an exam to deal with. Izuku, hi. Shiba, I am Shiba Ryuji. You are. Ida, I am Ida. Ida Tenya. Shiba, I see it is good to have small talk with someone who knows one of them will be your good companions. After all, we are all trying to serve our heroic purposes, right? Ida, hey. Shiba, good. Now then. Let's focus now ahead. Present mic, now. Start. Shiba, there goes. 𝐶𝐮𝐵𝐷𝐸𝐵. Suddenly between the crowd where they just looked in shock where Shiba just dashed into the gates himself and now he is ahead. Wait. That guy is the one who worked All Might back on 𝐾𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 incident. Present mic, what's wrong? There are no countdowns in real life. One is already ahead of you. Goo. As all of them now dashing into the city and Izuku is left behind the crowd and then Shiba is now ready to slash some enemies and saw some now. Shiba, alright. Chlink. 𝐶𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. He just went through the group of enemies now in one go and he jumps up from building to building and then saw another batch of them. Shiba, 𝐒𝐮𝐻𝐻𝐿. He shoots himself down and slashed the other in half and saw another about to grab him to hurt him, but he just did a sideward slash and he then placed the sword back on his sheath. Crumbly. DDMN. That guy is way ahead of us. He's taking the lead so fast. Ida Mind. That kind of spear even almost matches mine. But he does not have that kind of obvious quirks, and also that sword, where did it come from? As a one-pointer villain goes to Izuku and he then got scared and froze, and later as he was about to get hit then a laser then shot it to pieces and a European Gaylord then appeared and then thanked Izuku for the free point. Merci, that is a good teamwork. But I don't think we will meet again, Present mic, 6 minutes left. Izuku, no. As Izuku then rushed towards the main area and he saw that a lot of the robots are now destroyed and then also many of them working around. But a lot of robots almost flocked to one person who seemed to be the strongest there. Shiba meanwhile in the mix, and then he is now not even making an effort ND slashing round him and also doing some acrobatics while then. Whoosh. Tug tug. Suddenly form out of midair, then a bow and arrow then appeared, and then he pulled the string almost instantly and fired it point blank at the robots, earning him more and more points, and then Shiba, 47, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Boom drop. Done. Ida then kicks one down again as it looked like he already LSO fought more villains and somehow got Shiba's back, and then he just smiled. Ida, I got your back. I got 45. Shiba, thanks. As you get your butt and move. Izuku, HII. As many are now exclaiming their points, and also Izuku still has 0 and Shiba has more score it seems, and then he is continuing to rack up scores. Shiba then dashed in once again and grabbed another partsy ant and tossed him a little due to another attack on him but saved him. Grab, wabdom. Shiba then summoned his bow and shot it one time and it killed the robot, but it seemed to have exploded on impact. Thwang. Thunk. Boom. Thanks. Shiba, no problem move. Izuku mind, as expected of Shiba. But the enemies are getting fewer. This is bad. Meanwhile, on the watching room where the UA teachers are now watching the test themselves and the students themselves and also looking at every move to security as well. In this exam, the locations of the villains are undisclosed. In a short time in the field and will only just draw them out of their hiding positions. Ability to gather info, ability to respond in mobility and to many different situations. Being calm and reasonable in every situation. Pure combat ability and the skill of pure of over all kinds of these abilities of one. Accuracy and quick strategy making on battle itself and fighting skills trained. These basic qualities needed for peace are measured by the point system. This group looks promising. Well, it is too early to decide. But until this SWH is on. And now this one will now be tested. Click Shiba then dashed and abruptly stop even formed the tremors, and then he touched the ground and he used one of his moves and quirk to identify the cause of the rumble, and then Shiba mind, molecular detection. Wait, this is the 0 pointer. Crumble. Shiba then jumps back and parkours backwards even, and he jumps formed the building and then landed safely and slides back within the crowd, then Bach flips back from the momentum. Hawaiish. Clemsh. Ida. Shiba-san. Shiba, bursted out right on my feet somehow. But seriously, are they trying to kill us? Izuku mind, IT is too big. Shiba, retreat. The 0 point then punched the ground to scare the examinees, and then the wind pressure formed the impact of the punch, then laid Shiba then cover his face, which he just peeked a little for view and using some concentration to make an invisible layer of shield for his eyes, and then he later slashed the air. Push him. As then he looked beside him where everyone is running away, but then Shiba then later looked back and saw Izuku on the ground in fear, and then he narrowed his eyes, and then All Might. Humans show their true nature during the face of a threat. As Izuku tried to run away while Shiba is just hopping back and carrying Izuku up, and then WHSMMM. Shiba fell. Izuku, this is bad, this is bad. I need to get points. Oh. Dunin. As for Izuku, he heard the voice of a female, and Shiba also knew form his reaction and then created some distance for him and then place him down, and then Escarati. Izuku. Shiba. Shiba, go. Do your thing, save one. Izuku, B, but I could not. Shiba. Eyes. You can do it. Crumble Kermble. As the 0 pointer is still rolling in closely to the brunette girl and Izuku needs to save her, and then Shiba then smirked and said, Shiba, set your heart ablaze. In heroism. Crumble. Present mic, 2 minutes left. As then Izuku now starts to run again, and Shiba then looks on him with smirk also, and then he remembers All Might's words and to now jump so high towards the 0 pointer head, and then Serum. All Might. It is true that you will get nothing out of that villain when you destroyed, but something else awakens within you. As now Izuku now activates his quirk for the first time, and then he activates the power at full power and around the sleeves of his arm, then torn his sleeve, which made Shiba's eyes widen, and then grits his teeth as he might have some predictions of what will happen to him after he uses it. All Might / Izuku, tighten your buttocks. Scream within your heart. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Izuku mind, 𝐬𝐮𝐸𝐸. As the super punch that broke the zero-pointer's head, and then it exploded on impact, and almost like a missile explosion as to compare it to such, and then Shiba then smirked in surprise, and also everyone else is shocked to see such strength form another person, and then 𝐬𝐻𝗚𝐽𝐻. Shiba, with great power comes great responsibility. Izuku, even if you risk yourself to save one person, that responsibility falls on you also. Also even such your body has become accustomed to such heroism. All Might, the spirit of heroism that shines through. The spirit of self-sacrifice. Izuku mind, this is the same situation when I tried to save 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. But this time it is different. Present mic, 1 more minute. Izuku mind, wait. This is All Might's power. No. The landing will be wait. No. Shiba mind, SHT. The after effects. I have to sum. Shiba rushed towards the possible landing of Izuku, which would squash him, and then Shiba saw him about to use his left arm to soften his landing, and now he is screaming, and then Shiba, you idiot, don't you dare. Izuku, slap. A loud slap can be heard, and the girl that Izuku saved formed the zero-pointer, then now returned the favor, and now both of them re-afloat. SKRTT. Shiba, 𝐶𝐸. Thank goodness. 𝐵LRG. The brunette then vomited, as it must be the side effects of the quirk she is using, and then Shiba then looked at Izuku, who is now down, and he looked so mangled on his 3 limbs, and then Shiba, you don't look good now. Izuku, I still have to make some points. As he tried to crawl with only his left arm, and then Shiba said to Izuku about his body conditions, and he yelled, Shiba, idiot. You are mangled. How can you fight further? Izuku, but I have to. Shiba, you will die here. Present mic. The exam is over. Izuku is also shocked now and also in despair, and he does not even have 1 point taken on the robots, and then Shiba also looked back as he heard the announcement, and then he sighed in disappointment. Shiba, it's over, huh? As everyone is now talking about Izuku taking on the zero-pointer, and also he might be acting, and then suddenly it shifted to Shiba's speed and also in the highlight. But Diamond, that guy is so fast. He uses a katana and also a bow and arrow which appeared out of nowhere. His quirk is not even that fancy, but that guy. Ida mind. No, as for the green-haired guy, didn't you see that he was trying to save someone, and Shiba guy is talking him out of his irrational fear. He Pepe talked him to do it also. If this is not a prep test. Now gather around who is injured here. Here have some gummies. That mademoiselle. Oh, you hurt yourself form using too much of your quirk. 𝐶𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. The backbone of UA. The reason why UA can make these dangerous tests. Youthful heroine recovery girl. As then Izuku then now is healed, and Shiba is actually looked at the heroine on work who could heal people with it. Kiss Shiba thought. Shiba mind, new idea. To use my quirk. I mean, someone has to help her out on healing. Then I must explore again. Nightfall as the test is now done, and Shiba is now celebrating on his own with some ramen on his table now, and he then claps his hand a little and once, and then Shiba, itadakimasu. Cling. Finally. We can get a break. Indeed he. Now then after this dinner we can ahem some fun with women. As then they entered, and which is actually some heroes, and then they are making some ruckus on the place, and then even so they don't even look like heroes. Does not even look like the top 30 heroes of sorts, but just minor heroes, neighborhood heroes, in fact if sort. Cling. The exam was tiring. Well, the exam is not that hard I guess, but tiring. Cold. Oh well, let us celebrate, shall we? I mean, we passed too. Indeed, Yayarosa-san. Momo, well we did in fact, and then what do you want to eat now, Shuko-san? As the half-and-half girl then arrived and then she somehow droll sun something and also it might be her favorite and then later she said, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Cold soba. Momo, you still like the cold soba so much. So cute 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. It is good for my tongue okay. Momo hi. Shiba mind, they also took the exam. But I didn't see them around in the exam areas. Or even in the orientation. Is there another way? As Shiba then observed two of the heroes, now heading towards their way, and then they start to do something to the two of them. Hey there pretty ladies. Dimen, you girls are fine. Especially the half and half hihi. Oi you two rich girls. Order us some food. Momo, and no. Oya. Some rich girl rejected you bro. You two unlike you we are the ones who are saving your rich buttes. Each speaking of, but, this half and half girl is such a good one grope 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, don't you dare touch me. As suddenly some icy. Oh scary you know you can be arrested for illegally using your quirk. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, don't you dare do this or face the consequences dash. Oh another empty rich girl threat Shiba, so-called heroes like you are sure very amusing to see. So desperate for attention like this making me laugh. The F you say as the hero WS about to grab his shoulder and he parried the shoulder and then he gets in his personal space and made him spin out of control and grabbed his nape and slammed him on the ground. Damn. God. Shiba, Shiba just gave him the deadly look and he suddenly stopped and got to his butt and then later he said to them in a very threatening way. Shiba, I may be their age but I am far much different from them. You death will be guaranteed. You will pay for this. As they scram away and then Shiba then went to the counter and then later paid for the possible damages and then said, Shiba, sorry for the trouble I might destroyed some of your stuff so I will pay in advance. Shiba went out of the establishment and then later after some minute and then suddenly he felt a presence and then, Shiba, I would run if I were you. Who said we will run? Shiba then summoned his katana and then he just held it by the scabbard and then later then he saw the real enemy around the corner and then shank slash. Ga, goo. Shiba then quickly draws his katana and the other guys just jumps over it and then later he throws the sai at Shiba and then thunk. Battousai /forward/ your head is mine. Clatter. Now the enemy is now making a mess and then later Shiba then dodges more strikes and then the enemy SI just slashing around and jumping around while then suddenly Shiba caught his arm and slashed it off. Slash. Squelch. Shiba then later saw he will get his other sword but then suddenly Shiba dashed in and covered his mouth and stabbed his throat and bleeds so much and then suddenly he twisted his blade and slashed his head in half. Splash. Squelch. Done. Shiba then looked up and then saw 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 who looked like she is about to give something to Shiba and now she is being drenched in BLD of his enemy and then Shiba, SHT. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, no. It's okay he is a villain. Wanted for many years also even if he is a minor villain. He is an escape artist. Shiba, wait 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, it is better to kill tat villain than just escape. Shiba, aren't you gonna, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, no but promise me this. Do not kill again. Alright. Where do you go to school at? Shiba, 𝐴𝐻𝐴. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 then smiled as she heard where 𝐴𝐻𝐴 goes to school at and said to him as she also will go to 𝐴𝐻𝐴. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐴, I also go to 𝐴𝐻𝐴. Along with my twin brother. So promise now. Shiba, I promise. With some kind of a pinky promise and Shiba then wiped off the BLD off 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐴 which she sighed at that action and then also disintegrated the bodies himself and went on as if nothing happened. But a scar of trauma is however is now on 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐴 seeing someone kill for the first time and is also now a student in 𝐴𝐻𝐴 but somehow. She is not also that bothered. Which made Shiba wonder why. A normal person would not react that way when someone got murdered INF or nade of them. But yet she seemed calm about it also which now also bothers him. Meanwhile in the Ryujin temple and Shiba is now on his bed and also he is think about that night when something happened. Someone witnessed him kill someone and even made a promise to never kill again but he left out the detail that he might not be able to do so if he needed to do so. Is all now on Shiba's head and he was thinking for solution until some news came in. Shiba-sama, A letter form UA has been sent to you. Shiba, open. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, the door opens and also slipped the letter of UA there, and then he looked upon it and opened it immediately, and then he saw a disc and fell to the table, and then he saw All Might's face up there. All Might, I am here as a projection. Shiba mind, aloud, st. There is someone who is doing a ceremony. All Might, ahem. Might be I am too loud, he now then. I am gonna also announce for you that you, Shiba Ryuji, have passed with such flying colors. In fact, you have one of the highest scores here in the practical exams and written exam. Shiba Ryuji, villain points, 112 rescue points, 90 Shiba. Wait, so there is another point. All Might, you masterfully saved and also eliminated villains at the same time as if it is nothing. Aha. You did so well. You impressed a lot of the teachers here. And for your another god news. Your friend Izuku has also passed. Shiba, yes. As Shiba then pumped up in hype as his bro Izuku passed the exam, and then he then looked up from his window with a smile, and then he thought of Izuku's celebration, and then Shiba mind, Izuku, you did it. Now then for the next step. Alright. The exam results are out. Midnight, wow. First place got rescue and also villain points, and also at its highest than the others. Is he really somehow on student level? Virtual villains find, target and approach it with its usual routine for as a test. However, he is the one approaching the enemy. Form the start of the practical exam as soon as present Mike said start. He is the one who ran or rather dated in with such sprint speed. He has the gift of such accuracy form his summoned bow and also battle strategy and also fast reflexes in this one. Midnight, on the other hand, the second place has only villain points and the 8th has only rescue points. Yeah, we had some who tried to stand against it, but it's been while as someone has been able to destroy it, but he has been injured after the impact. He seems like a baby who just got his quirk. As now when Shiba and Izuku got their test results, and then Izuku and All Might texted Shiba to go to the same beach where they had their training and then later went there. All Might, or rather Skinny Might, is waiting for them to arrive at the beach and then later ran there, and Izuku called out to him, but then Izuku, All Might. Skinny Might, Belarg W, All Might. OMG where? As Skinny Might flinches and Shiba then tried to not to react at the funny moment that just happened in front of him, and then Skinny Might, repeat after me. I got the wrong person. Izuku, I got the wrong person. Aw man, I was hoping to met high in person. I had my hopes high too. Skinny Might and Izuku then sighed, and Shiba then looked at the beach around them and then later found someone on the horizon, and he knew that person. Shiba, you should not be sitting after a run, you know. You will stress your legs. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, you are that guy from the restaurant. So made up your mind. Shiba, yep, form now on. I will use a reverse blade sword somehow. In order not to kill. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, that's good. Shiba, but 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, Shiba, I will only do it whoever it is necessary. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, I see. So you passed UA. Shiba, yes, I passed the exam. It was not that hard, I believe. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 then smiled and then later looks on the sunrise and then later saw that Shiba is now relaxing with her, and then she got some kind of a ring on her phone, and later. Cling cling 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, oh, I have to go now. I have just done doing my runs. Shiba, oh Nidanisi. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, I have not even known your name yet. And yet you know mine after my friend Momo called me. So your name? Shiba, Shiba Ryuji. You can call me Shiba or Ryuji, I don't care. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, oh I see. Ryuji-san then. Shiba then smiled a little and he stood up also, and then later he proposed something to 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 somehow. Shiba, I am curious about your skill somehow. Since you entered UA, you know how to fight somehow. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, HMP. Yes, indeed, I know how to fight. As some kind of an icy air around her left then begins to seep out, and Shiba knows she is using ice powers, and then Shiba then later smirked and then said, Shiba, then let us have a spar, shall we? 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, if you say so, but we might disturb the neighbors. Shiba, alright, indeed, now is not the time. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, I might be late. See you in UA, Ryuji-san. Shiba then waved his hand farewell and then later goes back. Oh, Izuku geeking out about his quirk. Izuku, But I was surprised that you are a UA teacher. Your office is in Roppongi, 𝐻𝐮𝐸𝐵. Oh, stop it. Well, I can't make a statement until UA relates an announcement about me in UA. Also, while looking for an heir, it just so happened they offered me a job. Shiba mind, an heir among the students. Not bad of a plan. But can they bear even of that responsibility? Izuku, one for all. Broke my body form one use. I can't use it. 𝐻𝐮𝐸𝐵, well, it cannot be helped. Shiba, I mean, if you ask someone who just grew a tail, ask that person to control it, they ain't right. Izuku, WAIT youth knew this would happen. 𝐻𝐮𝐸𝐵, well, we didn't have any time left that time, so. But it happened to be all might right. Shiba mind, puns. This is 𝐻𝐮𝐸𝐵, it may be for nothing at all for now. But if you can regulate it, you can modify the output of your power. The stronger the vessel, the lighter the control. Grip. All might, just like that, all MD. Since when? All might, let's go. Young Midoriya and Ryuji. Izuku, HAI. Shushum. They begin to run waveform the two spectators, and then now and All Might have some thoughts for Izuku now that he has passed the torch. All Might meant, now I have passed the torch to you. As it is exposed to the wind and many more, it will become stronger. Now while mine becomes weaker. As with Shiba Ryuji, he will help you along the way, sparking the flame whenever it smolders. Man, that is deep. Sekiro, why? Shiba-kun. Shiba, sensei. Sekiro then later said to Shiba as he is about to say some of his wisdom once again, and also said something about Shiba. Sekiro, Shiba. You are not yet MSTR of the craft, but to be honest, unlike many of the students, I believe you have the sharpest edge out there. Your fighting skills, martial arts, and your usage of quirk, which is different, form the supposed name. Shiba, molecular manipulation is indeed powerful, but you have to know the molecules and see them in ease or anything. Sekiro, also creating something out of thin air is nothing to laugh at. It is powerful. But despite on all of that, Sekiro then places his fist on his chest now, and then he smirked and said to him, Sekiro, no matter what, you have to stay humble. All right. Remember, with great power, Shiba, comes great responsibility. UA acceptance rate is 1 out of 300 students on the hero course, and 5 has attended by recommendation. And 36 is accepted into the hero course, and also 18 on each classroom divided the hero hours by 2. Shiba is now entering the hero course class 1A, and he is now with Izuku, and he is already first and called him out. Shiba, Aizu. Izuku, Oich. Shiba-san. Shiba, this is the classroom. Izuku, it seems so, but man, the door is big. Might be for the ones with gigantification quirk or something. Shiba, indeed. Izuku shivered somehow on some kind of fear of 2 specific people are now in the class and also in 1A, and then Shiba then later opened the door and then. Ida, get your feet off the table. Katsuki, Ida, don't you feel bad about the school seniors who took care of this particular chair and tables? Katsuki, no, I don't. Where are you from anyway? Ida Tenya. Form Somei Academy. Katsuki, Tishuch. Sumai. Then I have more reason to crush you. You bit part. Ida, what nerve? Do you even want to be a hero? Shiba, he is just as delusional as a inbred monkey, Ida-san. He is just a brat, don't mind him. Katsuki, what did you say? Suddenly Shiba then flash steps on Katsuki, startling him and making him take a seat, and he breathed hard and some BLD lust towards him, making him behave, and then. Shiba, remember what I said during the mock exams, Katsuki, there is always a bigger dog than you. You are a puppy compared to me, a Rottweiler. Ida, fast. And good morning, you too. Izuku. Ida, I am from Shiba/Izuku, some private academy, yes, we heard you. Izuku, I am Midoriya. Nice to meet you. Ida-kun. Ida, Midoriya-kun. You knew that exam was set up, did you? I didn't notice it. I misjudged you. I am admittedly a step behind you. And you, Shiba-kun. Shiba, do. Ida, you are so fast on eliminating the enemies, and Pepe talked him to do it right. Shiba, He did it on his own, don't worry, I just gave him a little nudge he needed. And in fact he did push himself even if injured him. Ida, whoa. Oh. That messy hair. Must be the reserved boy. Izuku, so you did pass. That punch was so good. Izu mind. Her in a uniform. So cute. Shiba mind, oh. Izu is getting his first love. Fufu must promote myself to wingman somehow. Izuku, I mean B, because he negotiated a for me, and H, how did you now? Izuku, that is. Shiba then looks around and then saw a vacant seat while Izuku is still chatting away with his new friends, and also Shiba then sat down with someone he actually knows besides Izuku and Ida. Shiba, hello there. Shuko, Ryuji-san. HM. You know him, sister. Shuko, yes, we met together in the restaurant where there was trouble with me and Momo, he took care of everything. Thanked him din, that's how we became friends. I see. Shuko, Ryuji-san, meet my brother. Shoto Todoroki. Shoto, pleasure to meet you. Shiba then sits down and also then later he sensed someone on the floor just outside and he looked on the direction and just a tiny space to see the man and then. The man then just did a thumbs up and then later said some words. Caterpillar man. If you want to make friends, go somewhere else. Then girl and Izuku then turns around and then saw the man and he said more of his words for the class groggily. Caterpillar man, this is a hero course. SEK. Ida / Izuku, something is there. Took you 8 seconds to shut up. Time is limited and you kids are not rational enough. The teacher then looks at Shiba and nodded as Shiba also nodded at acknowledgement, and then the teacher introduces himself. Aizawa, I am your teacher, Shota Aizawa. Nice to meet you. Aizawa, wear these and head to the field. Skinny might mind, UA's teaching system is very unusual. Some teachers are all quirk assessment test. Urarka, no orientation or something. Shiba mind, I see. Direct to the point, huh? Good idea. Aizawa, if you want to be a hero, you don't have time for that kind of stuff. UA is known for its unrestrictive style. That goes for the teachers as well. Well, you have been also doing this since middle school. Physical tests without using quirks. The country continues to test on average based on results. Why is not logical? Ministry of Education is just lazy. Shiba mind, another point taken. Aizawa, didn't Shiba come at first place? Katsuki, and Aizawa, in middle school how many meters is your softball throw? Shiba, 120 meters. All? No way that far. Aizawa, now do it with your quirk. Shiba, hi. Ida mind, isn't his quirk about creating, but to add also his speed and strength, when he threw one of the testers to another location to give them a boost? Katsuki, H, how the hell did he even go that high? He is on first place. How? Aizawa, you can do anything within that circle. Also use your sword. Shiba, Aizawa, your sword is part of your quirk, right? I'm sure you know how to use it to move or something. Shiba mind, oh well. Shiba then tossed the ball up and then later he summoned his unsheathed sword and then later he yelled out on his mind. Shiba mind, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. As the sound to 9 strikes sounds at almost the same time blasted the ball out of the area, which then gave them the record from the device that measured the distance. Aizawa, first know your maximum, is the most logical foundation of hero society. He then showed the measurement on the device and then. Shiba Ryuji, 909. 2 all, WWJ. Pikachu, seriously. 909. 2. This is insane. Pink, WWJ looks fun. Shiba mind, nothing is fun in the man's eyes. Sorry we dug our grave here. Tape, we can utilize our quirks here. Aizawa, it looks fun. Do you plan to be a hero with that kind of attitude? Okay then. Whoever places last on all 8 categories on the test, you are expelled. Izuku mind, in no way expelled. In all of these 8 tests, my one for all can only belt out at 100% or 0 specifically. I can't regulate it still. 𝐻𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, we choose however to do with our students as a teacher here. Now then. Welcome to UA's hero course. Uraraka, how can you expel us already? This is only our first day. No, this is unfair. Shiba, girl, everything in this world is unfair. From villains to natural disasters and people who try to one-up on you. It is a competitive world we live in. And the rewards you wish for only favors the bold. The bolder you are, the more that you get. 𝐻𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, good word Shiba. And also, UA will give you more and more teal on your 3 years. Now then, give it all you got. It mind, a weighty christening. But this is the best of the best. Katsuki mind, I can do better. 𝐶𝐻𝐼 will surpass Blades if I have to and stomp on his face. 𝐻𝐻𝐼, now that is the end of our demonstration. Real deal starts now. 50-meter dash. Ida dashed on the mark and then got there first on only 3.2 seconds, while the other, who has a froggy quirk, has come second later at 5.58 seconds. Ida Tenya, quirk engine Uraraka, why close? Am I shoes? Make them lighter. Uraraka Ochako quirk, 0 gravity. Weakness, nausea. Tailman go there first at 5.49 seconds, then Uraraka got in 15 seconds. Urarakamond, that is faster than when I was in middle school. As then later the European gamer named Aoyama then later speeds up using his quirk naval laser and speeds up backwards, but he got some problems with stomach ache, which Pinky then goes in first. Then later Katsuki and Izuku, then Izuku comes last as Katsuki used his quirk but Izuku did not. Then comes Shiba with Momo, and then he later goes to his sprinting position and his muscles somehow flexed, and then Red. What, look at his legs. Pinky, his legs are flexing up. It is almost like a flash step, which almost took, only he took 1 step and then now on the finish line, finishing faster than anyone. Shiba Ryuji, 25 seconds. Oh, in a way. Red, he is so fast. Amazing. Ida, my quirk is related to speed. Then here comes Shiba-san. Faster than anyone. Grip test. Izuku then did the grip test only to get the max he could get quirkless and then got 56.0 kilograms. Tape, WHI. 540 kilograms. What a Ryu, a gorilla. An octopus. Grape, octopus's secretary Shiba mind. Target locked for DSPLN. As the person with multiple arms then did the grip test, which seems he has the highest of the people doing the grip tests. As the rest of the tests are now being done in a single day and almost the half of the day, and Shiba is continuing to still break records while someone is actually catching up a little, and that is Katsuki. Form long jumps, they match almost as Katsuki used his quirk, but Shiba did not. Then sidesteps when Shiba locked eyes with Mineta, which scared him a little when then he overcame his adversary, and Mineta is tired but Shiba is not yet finished. Then the ball throw. Katsuki, shiny. He got the measurement, but then he did not even reach Shiba's level of more than 900 meters and only got 702.2 meters, which made him grumpy. Then Ochako did and actually surpassed Shiba since her quirk of 0 gravity and got to infinity, or rather beyond what the measurement can tell. Pikachu, shug. Infinity. Izuku mind, this is bad. This is not as simple. Everyone has at least high record. Ida. Midoriya is not in a good position. Katsuki, mean he is just weak measly quirkless guy. Ida, quirkless. Did you even know what he did on the exams? As Izuku tried to throw it and then later suddenly it is gone as then. Shiba whisper, do it. 𝐻𝐻𝐼, HMP alright. Dizing, tap tap. 46 meters. As Izuku is shocked that his quirk just disappeared nowhere, which he is now confused at what just happened, and then 𝐻𝐻𝐼 then said to him, 𝐻𝐻𝐼, I erased your quirk. Izuku, 𝐻𝐻𝐼, the practical exams are not logical after all. That even someone like you got accepted. Izuku, why? You erased my quirk. Wait, those goggles. 𝐻𝐻𝐼 mind, 𝐻𝐻𝐼 Shoda. I knew it, he practiced martial arts taijutsu in Ryujin Temple, which is why I know him, or rather he is my senior. He graduated there as a black belter and now works as a hero. Izuku, whatever the hell you are thinking you are gonna do, I know it. Izuku, The hero that rises quirk within the eyesight. Erase your hero. Erase her head. Pikachu, eraser. I have never heard of him. Frog, I heard about him. He is an underground hero. Aizawa, you can't control your quirk, can you? HMP, if you break down again you expect someone to save you. And Shiba, who will said always has your back. Izuku, Tiatus, snap rap. SKRRT. Aizawa, regardless of your intentions that will end up happening anyway. A long time ago a stiffly passionate hero became a legend for saving 1,000 people in one go. In contrary, if you would be able to save one person and now become useless afterwards. Midoriya Izuku. You can't become a hero with that power. Aizawa, I return the quirk to you. Now Shiba-san. Shiba, Izuku. Even if I said I will always have your back does not mean I can prevent something like you hurting yourself in the process. Control that power. And don't expect me to heal you like always. Izuku, chai. Izuku is now looking for a way in his mind to control his power as he mumbles his thoughts out quietly and then. Aizawa mind, will he use his power? Or chicken out and end up in last place? Whichever he does not have a chance. Shiba mind, come on, I know you have some initial stuff. As Izuku now is about to throw the ball now, but however the usage of the power is now only on his fingertips, which then. Izuku, SMA. Boom. Izuku got 3 which 1 UPS Katsuki score and then. Izuku, teacher. I can still. Move. Aizawa, oho. Pikachu, over 700 meters. Uraraka, he finally has a hero-like record. Ida, his finger is swelling. It is almost like in the entrance exam. Shiba, he does not know how to use his quirk yet, but this is a first step into his string it. Now then. Mind, how will the Katsuki Bakugo react? Katsuki mind, W, what is that power? A quirk manifests at the age of 4 or within and before the age of 4. It's impossible and yet. Katsuki, what the hell is going on D? As then suddenly Shiba came in and then grabbed his arm and dragged him down on the ground and also pulled his arm up while he is on his back and then. Shiba, you are really such a pain in the butt. Aizawa, you are wasting your time. Come on, head for the next. Shiba then later gets off his back as he stood up and Izuku then runs towards his new friends and then also Shiba goes to someone else. Shuko, you sure know how to throw someone down like that? Shiba, part of my training somehow. Shuko, well indeed. Uraraka, is your finger okay? Izuku, it's fine. It just swells and hurts a little. Katsuki mind, just a few days ago. You were just a pebble on the ground. As now through the pain and sweat now and everyone gets for the next and the few remaining exercises and Shiba and Izuku are going through the same drills. Shuko and Shiba are side by side on the jogging which then are also conversing while they do so and then. Being partners on sit-ups, however Shuko kept on getting distracted on his wonderful abs. A physique carved by the gods somehow form countless training he got in the Ryujin temple. Shuko mind, focus Shuko. I know his abs are enough. No, you naughty-minded girl. Shota mind, get a grip, sister. Momo mind, sheesh. Girl, get a grip. Aizawa, now gather around. Your results are now here also. I will just show it since it is a waste of time to explain. Here we go. Shiba Ryuji Shuko Todoroki, Shoto Todoroki Katsuki Bakugo Ida Tenya Tokoyami Fumikage Shoujo Mezu Ojiro Mashireo Kirishima Ijiro Mina Ashido Uraraka Ochako Koda Sato. Ashui Suyu Aoyama Yuga Siro Hanta Kaminari Denki Jirakyuka Toru Hagakure Minor Mineta Midoriya Izuku mind. Last place. Is he expelled? Aizawa, the expelling part is a lie. Everyone is shook and also confused and flabbergasted at the same time and Shiba is trying not to laugh but Shuko is pinching him to not do it as then Aizawa said. Aizawa, a rational lie for you to go beyond your limits Izuku Ochako Ida. Momo, of course it's a lie. It's not hard to figure out. Mineta, Momo/Kaminari mind. We did not notice. Siro, I was kind of nervous. Kirishima, I'll take on any challenge. Shiba, even deadly ones. Kirishima, not taught for now bro. Shiba, kidding 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐼ZAWA, we are now done. The curriculum is in the classroom, make sure to read it as Izuku sighed in relief and Shiba patted his back and then he held Izuku's finger and suddenly the healing is now done as then Izuku is kind of shocked to see that Shiba can heal wounds like that. Izuku, Shiba. You Shiba, 𝐶𝐻. I know I can but nope I won't reveal it to just anyone. 𝐒𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Another secret kept. As now it is the time to go out of school and Shiba is now reading still the curriculum and Shuko then went to Shiba and then later asked. Shuko, Ryuji-san. Shiba, HM. Oh Shuko. Need something? I wanna ask. Can we eat soba? Shiba, soba. Shuko, how did you Shiba, it is. Well I heard you and Miss Yaoyorozu when you two were celebrating your passing here in UA. Momo, PFFT, I guess we were a little loud. Shiba, speaking of which. How did you enter UA? I did not see you in the orientation or in practical. Shoto, me, Ida, sister and Momo entered by recommendation. And we took the exam as if we just show them proof that we are as good as we are advertised or something. Shiba, I see. Well took the practical exams so I might have an idea. Also, as for cold soba, I can make them. Shoto and Shuko snapped as they looked at Shiba with some kind of hungry eyes, especially Shuko as then. Todoroki's, make one for us. Shiba, hi. Come with me in one of the places I always go where I help making. Todoroki's, hey. Meanwhile with Izuku who is now talking with his new friends and then somehow Chako called Izuku the wrong name because of Katsuki constant calling of Izuku, Deku, but then, Achiko, but you know, Dek, it gives the vibe of, you can do it, you know. Izuku, I am Deku. Ida, Midoriya. You are too shallow, I thought it's an insult. Izuku then turns away blushing bright red and then later he mumbled something. Izuku, it's like a Copernicus or revolution. Uraraka, Cope. Shiba, so next is the hero subjects Shuko, hero subjects. Shiba, might be practical studies of sorts. Now then, stood up and took his bag out and then he then later smiled a little and said, Shiba, it's time to go home and rest. It seemed the first day is a little too wide for my expectations somehow. Shuko, your expectations. Shiba, indeed somehow the first day was not what I expected and I was not that lady too. So, shall we go for soba? Shuko, HAI. Shiba POV. Of course UA as a school also has school-related subjects such as English taught by Present Mike and other subjects taught by the heroes in the school, which is somehow weird. Heroes teaching the school subjects without a Mistral degree of the said subject or so, but well I guess it also worked since the teachers did well on teaching the students on the mathematics even. The cafeteria for lunch as it is huge compared on what I had in mind. Shiba, nice they have soba here. As then Shiba then later is now eating his soba now as then later someone took a seat beside him and then. Shuko, can I? Shiba, I don't mind. Momo, coming in. Shoto, here too. As they are now having chat which almost sounded like businessman talking about the school also then. A big bowl of soba noodles is served in front of Shiba and the Todorokis and Momo could not help but laugh at their favorite meal when they're looking cute when they eat it together and slurp the noodles together. Momo, PV afternoon classes are something else. Which is where the hero basics are now being taught in class. All Might, I am. Entering the door normally. Bam. Kaminari, Itis All Might. Kirishima, so cool. He is really a teacher here. Tsuyu, that costume of his is his silver AG. Ojiro, I am already getting goosebumps. All Might, I am here to teach you hero basics. To lay your foundation and until you will also become your one heroes. It has the most units too. So today, we start with this. Battle. Shiba Mind, battle Very basic indeed for being a hero. Katsuki, battle. Izuku, training. All Might, and also this one. FTZZZing. As the walls begin to open and there are suitcases that just appeared in the accordance of numbers and then Shiba and his friends then took their suitcases. Shiba's suitcase is numbered 21, which is somehow odd for him, but it's fine. All Might, your hero costumes that are made according to your quirk applications and requests. All Might, now. Let us meet in ground beta. The students are now dressed in their respective hero costumes now heading out from the tunnel entrance to the ground beta. All Might, starting from the looks, it is important for boys and girls. And beware that starting today you are now also heroes. All Might, you all look great. Let's us begin you embryos. Costume fees. This is an application of where your profile is being scanned and also from your quirks, you are made a suit to suit also your powers and also your personalities. When you turn in your quirk applications and your physical info, the school will design you a suit that matches your quirks and your physical looks. Izuku's costume is made from his very supportive mother as he now beastly wears it, and then All Might took notice on his costume. Achiko, Deku-kun, your costume is due down to earth. So cool. I should have written mine in detail. It's really tight on me. I'm embarrassed. Izuku is now again a blushing mess as she is talking about her costume and his as she is now scratching her helmet while being all embarrassed, and then Mineta mind, hero course is amazing. All Might mind, PFFFT so obvious. All Might we are still missing one person. Where is Ryuji Shounen? Shuko, Mizuku. He might be running late for now, and Shiba. Sorry guys, I had to readjust the suit with my quirk somehow. It is somehow not made my way. Kirishima, WHOA. It is like a modern samurai. Shiba, well I guess I mean it is light and also flexible, makes my movements fluent without the clothes interruptions. Izuku, WHOA. Shiba-san. You look nice. Shiba, thanks. Shuko, you are late, we are about to start. Shiba, my apologies. All Might, glad to have you here in time. Now we begin our exercise. Ida, sensei. We used this place for the practical entrance exams. Is it a city-wide battle again? All Might, nope. We will be 2 sets ahead. Most villains you see are outdoors. But you never know about the indoor villains. Imprisonment, backdoor deals, and also smuggling. In this society full of heroes. And also, clever villains stay in the dark. I will separate you all into groups as villains and heroes. Your battle will be a 2v2. Tsuyu, with no basic training. All Might, you already have a gist at the exams with the robots, but they're now nothing to destroy. Momo, how do we determine the winner? Katsuki, how much can we hurt the opponent? Achiko, will you expel us like Mr. Aizawa? Shiba mind, she is traumatized. All Might mind, so many questions. All Might, so here is the story. So one day the villains are hiding a nuke warhead inside the building and heroes must destroy the weapon or disarm it. Heroes must capture the villains or destroy the weapon. Izuku, it's like this American movies. Shiba, American. All Might, now as for the eats will be chosen by this slot. Ida, by random. Izuku, it is common for heroes to team up with an agency, and even if it is a quick team-ups. So that must be it. Ida. I see. He is looking ahead for us. Teams. Achiko and Izukubi, Shoto and Shoji C, Momo and Mineta D, Katsuki and Ida, Aoyama and Mina F, Koda and Sato G, Kaminari and Jiro H, Tokoyami and Tsuyu I, Hagakure and Ojiro J, Siro and Kirishima K, Shiba and Shuko. Shiba and Shuko then fist bumps as they are now a team for real, and later Shuko said to Shiba in greetings. Shuko, it seems we are a team here. Shiba, indeed. As then later the battle begins with a trial of sorts, since it's the demonstration of what would happen. As then the first one to battle is Team A versus Team D. All Might. Now the rest of US will go inside the monitor room. As everyone is going to the monitor rooms, Shiba tapped his shoulder and said to him in advance. Shiba, Bakugo always use this right as a first move. Do what need to do. As Shiba walks away and Izuku then looked back and then he sighed as he is already walking with Shuko, and then later Achiko then later said to Izuku. Achiko, what was that about? Izuku, it's nothing. He just said some advices and sorts. Achiko, oh. All Might, now you villain teams will go inside first to defend the bomb. If it goes too wild I will stop it. Ida, Katsuki, Meanwhile now inside as Ida then later saw the bomb and then later he begins to talk to himself. Ida, even in training it hurts my feelings to playa the villain. So I need to protect this one. Katsuki, oi. So Deku has a quirk, right? Ida, you saw his power, right? It seems risky though. Also, why do you always want to pick a fight with him? Even so, while Shiba-san is having his back while he is at risk. Katsuki mind, so he has been tricking me this whole time. Even Blades knew this all along. After that day. That damned nerd. Achiko, it is not easy to memorize these layouts. But you know, All Might is just like the one in TV. And unlike Aizawa-sensei, he has no punishments. I am relieved, and you are not. Izuku, WO. Our opponents are Ida and Kaken. I need to be on guard. Shiba, Bakugo always uses his right as his first move. Do what you need to do. Achiko, I see. Bakugo bullies you, right? Izuku, he is amazing too. But he may be a JRK. But he has his mind straight to his goals. But Shiba said otherwise, calling him an inbred monkey who screams for everything. His quirk is more amazing than mine, so that's why I want loose this time. Achiko, hey, it's a guy's thing, right? Izuku, sorry, it has nothing to do with you. Achiko, of course. We are a team. So, let's do this. All Might, so, the indoor practice battle starts now. Meanwhile in the monitor room as Shiba is now watching the cameras as he is watching Izuku's movements as then he is on watchful mode on him. Shuko mind. He is observing Midoriya-san in his movements. I wonder what he said during when he passed by him. Might be a warning. Shiba, the two are nervous. And cautious. Confidence and overconfidence in this situation would bring you to harm. Kirishima, HM. Also, hey bro, what do you think? Shiba, I guess their entry is successful. And professional at least. However, there is one adversary one must overcome. Izuku mind. I can't control one for all, yet I can only use 100% at my uncontrolled. So today we will ave to work on Uraraka-san's zero gravity and my own strength first. Remember the notes about battles indoors and outdoors. Thea moving cautiously inside the building as they move from corner to corner as they are walking slowly to not attract any potential threats. Hushim. Katsuki. Brackham. SHMP. Beam. Izuku, Uraraka-in, are you kawaii? Achiko, Shiba, one must overcome his own fear. Ignore to go through the process. Katsuki, don't you dare run now. Izuku, with you as my enemy I would figure out your attack. Mineta, a sudden attack. And also an ambush. Kirishima, that is not fair. Shiba, idiot. That is a smart move if you ask me. Kirishima, but it is not. Shiba. Ambushes are a good way for a one-hit done attack. It is effective in live combat. Only weakness is when the opponent knows or senses the enemy with his instinct. Shuko mind, speaking form experience Ryuji-san. Well, I can say that night was a perfect example. Mina, Midori. You dodged it too. Kaminari, he is going for it too. Katsuki then dashes towards Izuku as he then smirked wide while he wanted Rot really hurt him and then. Katsuki, I'll destroy you just not to get stopped. Beat grab. Izuku mind, right. Izuku suddenly grabbed his right arm as Shiba advised and then it shocked Katsuki as then Izuku then lifted him over shoulder and slammed him on the floor like Shiba would do. Achiko, WHOA. Like a fighter. Hushim. Izuku, Jichirin Katsuki, Izuku, Kaken. You always start with your right. I have seen it many times and Shiba too. And also in the notes I have written. I won't be a low-life Deku. I will be a DU that do everything. Katsuki mind, always so scared. But yet you, that always sees me off as always. Shiba, here goes. The face-off between Izuku and Katsuki as they're now on their stances as they fight as Izuku on a boxing kind of stance but still afraid but still remembers what Shiba taught him somehow and then. Katsuki, always being scared. That's what pisses me off. Izuku mind, remember what Shiba taught you. You even took notes of his teachings. Somehow break his arm. That is impossible. Kaken has many open areas like Shiba always said about. Katsuki, teach that blades taught too much time to place you in your place. Ida, what? Bakugo-kun. What is going on? Katsuki, shut up and do your job. I am angry right now, Ida. I don't care how you feel. Zip oy. Ida, going on as he likes what is going on with his head. Kirishima, Bakugo is saying something. What is he saying? All Might, he was talking to Ida through a private line. You can bring that or a capturing tape. Wrap this round your opponent and your villain is captured. Shiba mind. Using of that has lots of possibilities. Mina, time limit is 15 minutes and the heroes down know where the bomb is. Then the heroes are at the disadvantage. Shiba, using your tactical skills and your instinct to find it will be something of a stretch. But seeing how their language or how they talk or body language should just give you the clue of something. All Might, aside from that, heroes are the ones who is expected to turn the things around. On top of that, didn't Mr. Aizawa say that to you? Now everyone say plus ultra. All, plus ultra. Shiba well said it in a quiet way as he is really focused on Izuku's fight with Katsuki and then later Aoyama said. Aoyama, monsieur. Bakugo is. As everyone now pay attention to the screen when then later now seeing Bakugo doing a left kick on high after a dash. Beaties. Izuku, Uraraka get away from here. As then Izuku blocked the left kick and he used his capture tape to wrap around Katsuki but then Izuku dodges way form the right swing. Huzum. Boom. Katsuki, Izuku mind, easy to read. Sato, Whoa. He is cool. Zero, he is dodging and fighting him without his quirk. All Might mind Zero, he is really impressive on his feet. Almost with a resemblance of Shiba's footworks the notes he had made and what he had memorized form those notes. It is finally showing up. Izuku mind, he went for a ik then his right. He is being cautious now. As then Izuku saw that he is about to dash away again and then Izuku ran to the corner to find more strategies to go for and then. Huzum. Katsuki, get back here Deku. As Izuku ran on and as he followed there's so many corners to inspect too and then Katsuki is increasingly angry now and then he yelled out. Katsuki, so you have been deceiving me right? Were you enjoying it along with blades? Ha! Is a pretty flashy quirk isn't it? Why not use it? Let's see which one is stronger. Kaminari, sheesh. He is so angry. All Might mind. From what I heard from young Ryuji and Midoriya. He is overfilled with pride. But this one is too much. And it. Also young Ryuji broke his pride to shatter. After he stabbed him on the side and painfully lined his insides. He healed him after but showed him that there is a bigger dog than him. But seriously, this aside too much. Izuku mind. He completely ignored Uraraka-san and targeted. Me from the start. I knew it. Ida-kun would have been better vanguard than him because of his speed he should already know that. Now that I have hidden this means Kaken is on his own. For now. Izuku then suddenly closed his eyes as if he is hearing many of the explosions inspecting some doors and also he then is now using some hand signs to like pray in a Bushido way and then. Kirishima, what is he doing? Kaminari, he is like praying. But Shiba, prayer sign for good luck. The mode of infinity and also such where one warrior will be praying for a while and then he will have a mental capacity of iron and body made of hard steel and such. This is the way why samurais are not afraid of death. Momothu. How did you know this? Shiba, I am a samurai. All, Whoa. Wait really? Kirishima, explains the sword choices. All Might mind, a samurai wanting to be a hero huh? Such a noble look. Good for him. Izuku mind, as Shiba said. One man alone cannot beat the many. Then this will do separate them and join her in battle with Ida. Assuming I can beat 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. I will beat him. My quirk might be the last resort. Katsuki, where are you? You damned neared. Izuku mind. Alright. Clack 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 as Katsuki is walking with an Angie face which he is now hunting practically for Izuku and now then. Katsuki mind. The DMN pebble. Meanwhile with Uraraka then found Ida and the weapon and Ida who seemed to be doing some practices for the villain monologuing and also now guarding the bomb itself. Ida, Bakugo is naturally bad. He is doing the right thing for the training. Then that means I am to become a villain to complete this training. That's right in order to become fitting of the Ida name. In order to become a hero I must become a villain first. I am extremely bad. Uraraka, peace in mind. He is so serious. Ida, so you have come. Uraraka-kun. Uraraka, dich. Ida, I knew you would come alone. The moment Bakugo ran off by himself. Your quirk makes you float things you touch. Which is why I cleaned everything into your room for you so you can touch nothing but this bomb. But you will have to go through me. Shiba mind. Well, I guess he did a good job cleaning the place up. For good battle strategy against her. Unless she must use martial arts. As now then Izuku got where Uraraka is now and he found out that the bomb is just a floor above him. Y is the 5th floor and as he stood up now he heard a rin of something and he stopped abruptly and then he turned around and it's Katsuki. 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Katsuki, it's loaded. Specifying his gauntlets shaped like an actual grenade and then he looks down Izuku as he then said to him. Katsuki, why won't you use your quirk on me? That. You saying you can win without it? Are you looking down on me? That. Izuku, why would I be afraid of you now, huh? Katsuki is shook to the core. He said it himself, but it only set him off even more but then smirked once again as he said to him. Katsuki, itch with your stalking you should already know what my quirk does. That my explosions are made form y nitroglycerin like sweats. If this is made as what I requested, these arms will store nitroglycerin. Shiba mind, SHT if that is what I think it is. Shiba looks with some worried expression and Shuko noticed it and All Might taked over him and then All Might yelled on the mic and said, All Might, Bakugo stop that right now. You will kill him. Katsuki, he won't die if he dodges. Izuku then saw that there is a corner around him and he dives down there while the huge explosion for the explosion hissed him but still grazed and burned him due to the near heat and then. Izuku mind, you idiot. You will kill even your team. Kirishima, this is only a lesson. Shiba then clenched his fists as he even made his hands bleed a little and then All Might, young man. Midoriya shounen. Izuku, you out of your mind. Katsuki, yes and now I will break you 2 pieces. Use your quirk. Izuku, As then Izuku posted up now and then he breathed in and out and he is now on something called the selfless state. Not perfected but still there. Izuku being emotionless but still turbulent on the inside and this one shocked Katsuki. Katsuki mind. The hell are you planning now Deku? Katsuki, oh why Deku? You did not get hit right. Then you can still move right. Bring it on. Izuku mind, raising his right once again. If I could break that arm. Then it's over for him. Izuku then stood up and his eyes looked something he had made up his mind and he is now not even talking back somehow and he then later goes for a stance. Which is new somehow for Katsuki's eyes. Izuku, Uraraka-san. Uraraka, Deku-kun. Katsuki, ignoring me you got some nerve. Kirishima, sensei. You need to stop this. Bakugo is going crazy. He will kill him. All Might, no. Mind. Strange part is he is still thinking straight. But in this case. All Might, Bakugo shounen. If you shoot that kind of blast again I will have no choice but to stop this. And this will be your loss. Large-scale attacks indoors is a foolish doing for heroes and villains alike. You are protecting your fort. Izuku, Uraraka the right side pillar go. Katsuki, find in. Let has a fist fight. Izuku then later dashed in also while Katsuki used his right as a decoy while blinding him with one pop. Bam. Izuku, JHK. Boom. Izuku then got hit by an explosion on the back which made him slide back a little after he recovers, and he then, while still mid-air, Izuku grabbed his left arm and then Izuku suddenly elbows Katsuki's side as hard as he could, causing him to gasp out of air, and then he falls down and covers again. Katsuki, Kirishima, whoa, what was that? Shoto. He seems that he is not a type of a person that thinks. But oddly he is so detailed. Mina, Kirishima, oh, how so? Shoto, changing the course with a blinding blast, fired one more right after. Momo, firing while canceling inertia requires adjustments before either hand. Kaminari, he is a genius. Katsuki, come on, let's fight. Here comes your beloved right swing. Hushim. As Izuku then later catches it again, but now he is on a blind angle, which then later Izuku now looked at Katsuki, who looked shocked, and then Izuku, say goodbye to it too. As Izuku then breaks his arm, which Katsuki screamed in bloody murder, and then Katsuki then later grabs with his left arm and then slammed Izuku. Damn. Izuku, JK. Izuku then gets up again, and Katsuki is now holding his right arm, and Izuku is still on recovery form the slam down. Katsuki 9 mind. Where the hell did you learn how to fight, you DMN nerd? He then realized who was doing all of this and also teaching Izuku to fight back, and it was Shiba Ryuji. He got enraged now and then. Katsuki mind, JK. My right got fing snapped. Demon this nerd. Izuku, surrender. Katsuki. Done and shocking him to the core that he did not even call him by his nickname now, and then later he then swiped up his hand in some kind of a taunt. Izuku, come. There are more things I would like to do to you. Without using my quirks. Katsuki, why won't you use your DMN quirk? Are you really looking down on me? Izuku, looking down, huh? Looking down. I did not. You are the one looking down on me. Katsuki, stop making that face, you dim nerd. Hushim. Izuku, you want me to use my quirk? Fine. Don't bomb me if you have a hole on F chest. Katsuki, BBDM BDM. Katsuki, Izuku, Detroit. Katsuki, yeah, charging to each other now, and Izuku then now activates his quirk as Izuku's arm glows in power while some pops of explosion form Katsuki palms, and then Kirishima, this is not good. All Might. All Might is still hesitating as everyone looked in shocked, but Shiba. He is smiling as he saw how Izuku's resolve and also the application of his fighting skills taught by him and is now showing, and then Shiba mind, through the storm and back. One must grow through the land of stones. Izuku, you have grown strong. All Might, you both as Izuku, Uraraka, and now. Uraraka meanwhile then held on to the pillar and then braces herself through a huge impact now, and then later, Ida felt something is about to happen. Ida, Chuch. Izuku, SNA, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. An uppercut with 100% of the powers then later shook the room and now caused a huge upward wind which crazed a huge hole just upstairs and also breaking the building, and now Uraraka then did what she needs to do, and now Uraraka, improvised, home run comet. She swings the pillar with her quirk and now using the rubble used it to distract, and now has got the weapon now securing the win for her and Izuku's team. Uraraka, retrieved. Ida, and all. The weapon. Katsuki, Gurk, you are really making a fool out of me. Izuku, I am not planning on using it. But you forced me now. Izuku's blackened arms now and bruised and bleeding from overuse, and he looked pale, and then his arm is still up but now dangled down. Izuku, because it is much more than this. You idiot. You fell for my plan. Drop. All Might, hero team wins. Kaminari, what the hell is going on? The losers have no damage. Shiba, reckless, huh? Shuko, indeed. Your friend Isai, sure reckless, I mean very reckless. Shiba, he has been, but sure he used this lesson to vent out. I will give him an earful later. 𝐬𝐿, what are you, his nanny or something? Shiba, yes, what if I am? 𝐬𝐿, I see. Shiba, Izuku has so much potential only to be defused by his recklessness. But well, he did win the battle, not the war. Tokoyami, The same thing I would say. 𝐶𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. It's only training though. Shiba then went to the site and then he went on and saw Izuku on the nurse box and he then looks at him with his broken arms and then Izuku is unconscious due to the overwhelmed and the panic and the pain combined, and then Shiba sighed as he knew this would happen so he could maybe heal him himself, and then All Might is also there. All Might, Ryuji shounen. You know this would happen, right? Shiba, more or less it is like an opportunity for the both of them to vent somehow causing this damage. But then this situation. Where did I experience this? Katsuki 9 mind. He predicted my left swing. Since he broke my right. But also why, yet he found. Way of winning the training. Izuku, you want me to use my quirk? Fine. Don't bomb me if you have a hole on F chest. Katsuki, so that means even if I fought him with my full strength, I would still be B. Katsuki is now having a panic attack now as he realized something for Izuku now which then causing she heartbeat to rise up, especially the time when Shiba stabbed him quickly, so quickly but healed him, and now Shiba has been teaching Izuku to fight back and Izuku's newfound strength to fight him and even break his arm. All Might, let's go, Bakugo shonen. We have to review. Whether you lose or win. Looking back, what we experienced is what matters, as All Might then walks away and then Shiba, who is just there watching him, panic, and now then Shiba broke silence and then he said, Shiba, you are not the top of the world without feeling the bottom. Learn from this loss, Katsuki. If you cannot, you will always be a sore loser. Like you're now. As he also now walks away, which then Katsuki is just stood there and ends up following him into the review area. As after the very eventful first battle of the day for the combat training as heroes, and All Might then later announced the MVP of the group, which then caused some needles stabbed through their hearts aside one. All Might, even so the best player is Ida. 𝐶𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, not Achiko or Midoriya. All Might, I wonder why. Shiba, Ida adapted well in his surroundings and knew the enemy well. Knowing your enemies well is a key to victory, and that Ida did well. Momo, indeed, and also, Bakugo's actions are based on grudge. And also, Shiba, Hei's pride-driven, violent, rather too violent, much like a Pomeranian, and also looking like some angry evil spirit possessed him. HMP. Such imbecile should not be even a hero with that much violent pride. Katsuki. Momo, the large-scale attack is foolish. As for Midoriya-san, his injuries proved the point that his plan is reckless. Shiba, I would agree to that even after breaking his arm and also his arm. Uraraka-san foolishly revealed her hiding spot, which Ida noticed her. Momo, then the last move was also violent. Shiba, if the weapon is a real deal, the explosion that Katsuki did would have triggered something already. Shiba then proceeds to mock Katsuki in a calm way as he said to him boldly, and then, Shiba, you should not let your pride belittle the many of Izuku. He has outsmarted you in many locations and occasions. Your lack of patience leads to your inevitable fall, even death. Shiba then asked closer to Katsuki, and then he said to him as he tapped his shoulders, Shiba, you are nothing more than an angry brat who thinks the world revolves around him. Pointing now at his side, the same side where Shiba stabbed in middle school, and then he said as a last word or warning, Shiba, I may have promised every harm to Izuku coming form you will be dealt by me. But I can't go with him all the time. In fact, right now, you are just a mere pebble and a stepping stone for his growth. At this point the class is silent as Shiba said that, which also Shuko is also shocked to hear that when then she then later saw him walk back to her side and before such and said, Shiba, as I said, learn from this loss. Who knows what you will get from this? Momo, the hero team only won because they took the easy way out. And took advantage of this being a training. All Might mind, both of them explained it well more than I thought. All Might, Ida, yes, Ida may be too serious for some point. But you are correct. Momo, starting with the basics before you become a top hero. Quirk, creation Shiba whisper, nay Shuko, is she a recommended student? Shuko hi. All Might, now let us begin the second battle. After such return for the review. All Might, second battle hero team B versus villain team I. As they're now getting ready and Shoto is now looking around the building and Shoji using his quirk and arms, and then he said to him, Shoji, one is on the 4th floor and another somewhere on the same floor. Another might be going to ambush us. Shoto, it's dangerous here for now. Step outside. Shoji, ugh. They may be planning for a defensive fight. Shoto, but well, it won't matter. As he suddenly froze the building and the ones inside it aside for where Shoji is all incapacitating the villain team, why they could not even move an inch due to being frozen. Hagakure, ow 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 ow. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. This quirk. Ha. Shoto, you can move. But have some concern on your feet. Souls. All Might. He did not harm the allies and the weapons. But weakened the enemy in one move. Kirishima. WHO. So cool. As the room became cold and everyone is shivering side Shuko and Shiba, and some as Shuko seemed to giggle a little at Momo's shivering, and then Shuko, feeling chilly. Momo-san. Momo, now is not the time. You don't feel cold. Shuko, wait, Shiba is not shivering. Shiba, living in the high altitudes sure helped. Katsuki then meanwhile is standing there shocked as he saw somehow the one more powerful than him as he finished it in an instant as Shoto just made it look easy due to his quirk, and then unable to even move an inch as Shoto just walked by him, and then Ojiro sighed as it is futile to even try, and then Shoto touched them weapon and then secures the win. Touch All Might. Hero team wins. As then suddenly steam then comes out as Shoto somehow melts his own ice and 10th building is now thawed out, and then Shoto, it was too bad I am way too much for you. Shiba, you said you have the same quirk as your twin, right? Shuko, though I am somehow lower in power than him because he can extend his range while I can't that much. Shiba, oh I see. I guess first plan is not working then. Well, how about this? A diversion. Commonry. What a quirk. Tsuyu, no wonder he is in scholarship. All Might, why? Now let's head back for round 2. Now let us start round 3. All, HAI. As now round 3 goes when Kirishima and Siro protected their weapons and stayed there, which also Tokoyami came in with some kind of a dark aura around him. Dan. Shadow comes out in his shape as then. Tsuyu comes then. Another round with Yaoyorozu made the barriers and Mineta being useless, which he is just perving around Momo on her, but as meanwhile Shiba is sighing as Shuko is crashing her fingers as her bestie is being perved at, making Shiba sigh again. Another round with Jiro and Kaminari, which Jiro signals where the enemies are and Kaminari using his electricity quirk, and he then later fired it off. Sato flexing his muscles, and then Soda is nervous. Aoyama dazzling and Mina face palming. And now last but not the least, it is now Shiba and Shuko's turn, and now since it is on the odd numbers another team must go back to perform once again and another random team up. Kirishima, oh, me and Sato. So we are gonna do this twice, huh? All Might, because it seems we have an odd number of students, you might have to this twice. So since both of you are on villain teams you will be heroes. Kirishima, YSH. Sato, later now inside the building, and Shuko is now then looked at Shiba as he is now thinking with his eyes closed now, and then he then said, Shiba, Shuko, you want to defend the weapon. Shuko, I can. Shiba, then I will be a vanguard. I will copy Katsuki's move. And then we will communicate. Shuko, alright. Shiba-san. Shiba. Shuko, just careful out there. Shiba then smiled and then did a peace sign, and then he said to Shuko as he said, Shiba, see ya later. All Might, now the final round of the hero training begins. As then now Kirishima and Sato are now going in, and then later they heard a crackling sound and they then jumped up and avoided their feet getting frozen. Kirishima, WHO, Sato, HUP. Hagakure, WHOA. She can also do what the other one can do. Mina, but it is a repeat though which made them jump. Katsuki is watching in shock still as he saw another one as powerful as Shoto, and then later within the cameras as then. Kaminari, how fast is this guy? Tokoyami, his running is something else of a speed. And such speed. Ida, it is almost my speed but much silent. I never thought someone could run this silent. Kirishima, do you hear that? Sato, why yeah. Kirishima used his hardening quirk, and also Sato, and then they later heard something from the walls as they heard some stomps dim push him. Kirishima, man, this guy is fast. Suddenly from between the two, and Shiba then even said, and he said it out loud, and then Shiba, now you are dead. Kirishima and Sato suddenly jumped away and in shocked that Shiba is already gone as they just heard his voice behind them, but then Kirishima felt a grab on his shoulders. Kirishima. As Kirishima felt Shiba's shoulder grab, but he tried to punch his face only for Shiba to counter its flow and went over the opposite side and drag him, and with his other arm then later made him back tumble. Some Kirishima, WTM beat him. Kirishima, WJ mind, I was dragged. No, he counterflowed me. This is insane. He is not even using his quirk. Sato is now nowhere to be found while he looked around acting distracted as Kirishima then gets up and gets on a stance, and then he later throws a jab then. Kirishima, that was amazing, but that won't work on me now. Shiba then anticipated his jab and he later suddenly grabbed his right arm and he later slams his hand on his shoulder down and even drag him down. Kirishima, W, and now even using his right arm and threw the excess energy and threw Kirishima down. Kirishima still tries to fight it, but then Shiba then later now finally takes him down with a Hapkido throw. Kirishima, no way, and now a capture tape is wrapped around his wrist signifying his loss, and Kirishima is comically crying for his right arm which was abused by Shiba, and then Mina, WHOA. That is so cool. Kaminari, he is using martial arts solely. Eat mind, close quarter combat. This is such an effective way to deal with some quirks like Kirishima's. Katsuki mind, he took him down so easily. Not using a quirk. Like Ryu initially did. Even copying my strategy. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Shoto, it is so detailed, but yet I could not even see how he reappeared and disappeared. His speed is unmatched and his surroundings and using it to his advantage. That martial arts he used. All Might mind, he took down his enemy in 3 moves. And a capture tape to end the battle. And a martial art technique too. Ojiro, he is using Hapkido. Tsuyu, Hapkido. What is that? Ojiro, a Korean form of unarmed self-defense based on the circular foot sweeps and kicks of traditional Korean taekyon, but incorporating punches and circular throws and a yielding principle similar to that of Aikido. Jiro, he was able to MSTR that too. Mina, WO. All Might, this is the most ideal way of clearing a villain. Disable and also capture. Since Shiba is already good practitioner in martial arts, this is a good way to do so. Ojiro, and such mastery. He is very detailed and smooth with his movements. If we ever have a spar, I would be destroyed. Meanwhile with Shuko now as Sato arrived at the bomb, and Shuko then later dodges his punches which then later froze him after she jumps over him and trapped him before he could touch the bomb. Sato, Gage. Fast. All Might, Hero Team Yins. Kirishima Tuthman. That is so quick. And you my man. Is insane. Shiba, am I. Kirishima, you threw me in my quirk state. That is something else. Shiba, I see also. We have to return first before we end. Kirishima, hi. Mind, I thought he was about to destroy my arm or something formed that movement. Now that the class is now done and All Might congratulates them at completing the training and then now gathered on the exit and now said. All Might, God job all of you. Nobody is injured aside for young Midoriya. But you all did your best. Being your first training. Tsuyu, having such decent lesson after Aizawa-sensei. Well, it is. Anticlimactic. All Might, giving decent lessons is also the freedom of teachers in Yue. Then I must go to give some feedback on young Midoriya. Change your clothes and head back to class. Off I go. Suzum dashes away as fast as he could, and then now he is gone and leaving the students in there, and as they will now go and change to their uniforms, and then Kaminari, All Might is so awesome. Ojiro, why is he in a rush though? Mineta, so cool. All might mind. Young Bakugo with the one full of pride. A puffed heart can be so weak. However, as a teacher I have to give him some counseling, but my time is not gonna make me do it. As he defeated to 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐽, then coughed a little for his respiratory failure somehow, and now later went to Izuku's side as then. RG, he has been here 2 times since the school started. Why didn't you stop him, All Might? 𝐮𝐮𝐬𝐽, I'm sorry RG. RG, don't apologize to me. Not only that, he came here yesterday to see through his finger, which was healed quickly, for my job to do better also. And also, that Shiba guy can heal, but it seems he could not perfect that to the point of full recovery. 𝐮𝐮𝐬𝐽, he can heal injuries too. Amazing. RG, seriously, just because 𝐻𝐻 is your apprentice you don't have to spoil him. 𝐮𝐮𝐬𝐽, I have nothing to I just want to respect his feelings towards things somehow. So I hesitated to stop the training. But also, stop talking about OFA loudly so. RG, hi Mr. Natural Born Hero. 𝐮𝐮𝐬𝐽, my appearance now is only known by few people in Heroes and some. But OFA is only known to you, apprentice and a close friend. RG, you are lord over for that, but is it really that important for you to be really a natural born hero? 𝐮𝐮𝐬𝐽, it comes with this gift I have and it should not be tainted. Shiba always said to Izuku, with great power comes great responsibility. It always struck me in the heart when he said that. RG, even so, you need to first learn how to GUID someone. Or so. You can ask for help or someone. 𝐮𝐮𝐬𝐽 then remembers Shiba when he is now looking on to ask him to fully teach Izuku with him to use his quirk. 𝐮𝐮𝐬𝐽, even if he is a student here, he is the one teaching Midoriya some stuff when I am not around. Alright, I will propose an arrangement. 𝐾𝐮𝐻, Midoriya is back. Good work out there. I could not tell what you were saying. But you are fired up. 𝐶𝐻, you fought Bakugo fair and square, our second top scorer Mina. You dodged it so well. 𝐴𝐵, because that was the first match we all got fired up. 𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐽, but it won not elegant Mina, you dodged so well. Izuku, 𝐻𝐻, Kirishima, I am Kirishima Ijiro. 𝐶𝐻, I am 𝐶𝐻𝐿. 𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐽, I am 𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐽 Mina, Mina Ishido. You dodged so well. 𝐶𝐻, I am 𝐴𝐵. 𝐴𝐵, I am 𝐴𝐵. Mineta, I am Mineta, grab Mineta, Guac. Shiba, behave down now little one. And also welcome back to the world of the living. Izuku mind treating me as if I died. Kirishima, 𝐻𝐻, Shiba bro, where have you been? But man, your moves were so cool. You threw me around like I was nothing. Shiba, ah well how is your arm? Kirishima, I just asked for some menthol pads and overall I am just doing okay. 𝐴𝐵, I was shocked though. Are you a ninja or something? You appeared after this loud stomps on the wall, we could not see you coming. Shiba, training helped. Obstacle course 2+ maybe martial arts. Ojiro, speaking of martial arts. You were so detailed on that move using Hapkido. Shiba is impressed as he saw someone with the same mindset more or less, and then he engaged in a conversation with Ojiro. Ojiro, I am Ojiro Mashireo. 𝐶𝐮𝐬𝐽 practitioner. Shiba, Shiba Ryuji. Hiten Mitsurugi practitioner. Ojiro, Hiten Mitsurugi. Shiba, it's a secret, I can only tell the name. My MSDR's orders. Ojiro, but seriously, you used Hapkido, there is somehow awesome. Kaminari, I was clearly expecting you to use your sword in there, but man, you did the unexpected. Tokoyami, he is like a dark ninja. Shiba, an ninja. Tokoyami, that is what your skills are, right? Shiba, no. Ida, Tokoyami-kun. That is not a chair. Please avoid sitting on them. Tokoyami, shut up. Uraraka, Deku-kun. Are your injuries fixed? Izuku, this is because of my energy, huh? Where is Kakin? Shiba, he already left. I will go talk to him myself. Izuku, I should be the one. Shiba then looked at Izuku with his eyes still on for Katsuki to become friends like he did on when he was a child and growing up beside him, and then Shiba had no choice but to let him be for a while. Shiba mind, Sai, what do you even see in that man-child Aizu? Meanwhile, Izuku tried to talk to Katsuki on his own, and Shiba is just there when he watched them, but he already left too. Izuku almost blurted out the truth, and then, Katsuki, what it is. When I saw that ice guy and also blades taking out the enemy like nothing. That copycat copied my strategy and did ITF took down shitty hair with 3 moves. What he also said. Sunk in too. Katsuki, form here on out. From here are 𝐀𝐮𝐬𝐴. I will be number 1. I will not lose to you again this time after. Shiba mind, not with that attitude. But I can let this one go. This is good for him too. Helping out himself to become better, but I hope also personality-wise. Izuku, this is your one battle, I cannot interfere. Good luck on this. Shiba then later did not mind them now at all, and he is now waiting at the entrance of the school, and now. Katsuki, UDMN blades. Shiba, yo Katsuki. Finally light up your fuse. Katsuki, UDMN Fing copycat, you copied my strategy, did you? Shiba, yes I did, I only did this to teach you. Katsuki, what is there to teach me? Katsuki tried to grab Shiba, but Shiba then grabbed his arm and then placed it down forcibly, and then he said to him. Shiba, your number 1 problem is that you fear failure. What is failure to you? Your death. I have failed many times to get where I am now. Fear to fail is also natural, but yours is unnatural. If you overcome that fear, you will surely be number 1. Katsuki, fear of failure. Don't mess with me, I don't fear. Shiba, yes you do, explain the tears in your eyes when the one you bullied so much has won you over. Katsuki, shut up. Shiba, apply that same energy to improve, not to place anyone down to their drain. So this time promise me one thing, Katsuki, I am going home. Shiba then later saw him walking home first now, and then Shiba sighed, and he knew that his conviction is now open. And then, as Shiba and Izuku were about to enter the school, but the reporters are now blocking the way, as then later they were asked. What are All Might's class lessons like? Shiba, that part might be classified by the school itself. Izuku, I need to go to the infirmary. Clack Shiba, I'll answer some questions later, Toodles. As both of them dashed into the school, and then the others are asked about the same question as them, which then they answered in a short answer. Achiko, macho. Ida meanwhile, as expected, begins a huge speech about All Might and how he teaches in the school, but before he could even finish, his collar was grabbed from the back and he was dragged back by Shiba. Grab Ida. Whoa, Shiba-kun. Bam. Not done yet. Shiba, no need for a speed, we are about to be late. Dragged back as his strength as used to drag Ida back to the school, while now Aizawa is now answering the questioning as All Might is off duty right now. Why might not be true to shoo away the people with misinformation, and also Katsuki with his usual stingy attitude. Please, I would like to speak to All Might personally. Shiba, don't worry, would you like me to answer the questions for him? He is a busy man. Shiba, Daijobu. I am sure I can answer for him. As the female reporter blushed as he smiled at her, and somehow she blushed red, and then she is love-struck by his smile, while then she momentarily forgot that she is still having her job, and then. Kawaii, that student is so handsome and so cute. Wait, at least give some comments about All Might. Shiba, well, he is comical in a sense. That is all I want to say for now. I promise I will answer some good questions, but yeah. Please add some more for the news. Wait. Don't go in 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Lua. What the dash, the UA barrier. Or so we call it. What the hell is even that? If anyone without their ID gets in, the sensors will go off and the walls go up, and so we call it the UA barrier. Plus there are sensors all over the campus. Unbelievable. They think they're so great. But one thing for sure, that kid is sure as charming more than any other guys out there. A miss, that is a minor. The guy looks like an adult teens, but he is a minor. Even better, All Might hired as a teacher. News has spread like the wildest fire spread you will ever see. Even shocked the whole country, and many such also, as now All Might himself, the famous #1 hero, is teaching in UA and teaching students of UA. However, this one made the press go crazy and go on UA now, while then also everyone knows now. Which that everyone will pose a big challenge for many soon in the long run in Class 1A. Aizawa. Good job on the basic training yesterday. I looked up to your scores and your clips form the training itself. I hope you're well rested after yesterday's battle. Bakugo. Stop acting like a 7-year-old. You sure got talent. But you are wasting it. Katsuki. I know that. Aizawa, Midoriya. You settled it again by breaking your arm, huh? He flinched as he got called out for that action, and then he looked down and then he continued. Aizawa. I won't let you stay like that state of not controlling your quirk as you stay here. I hate repeating myself. So, have some urgency. Izuku, Hi. Aizawa, and Shiba Ryuji. You caught my attention on your speed and also your hapkido and 3 kinds of techniques shown for close combat and a quick takedown. I commend you for such an action. Shiba, thanks sensei. Aizawa, now for the homeroom business. You will be choosing your class representative. All Mind, finally a school-like activity. Kirishima, president. Come on, pick me. Kaminari, me too. Jiro, I would like to do if I would. Aoyama, I am meant to be Mina. I'll be a leader. Shiba and D, being a leader somehow. Well, looking at them, they have no idea about what comes in as the price of leadership. It is not just a title, but a responsibility. Katsuki, FIT, I will be one here. Ida, silence. You will be responsible to lead the masses. It is not something anyone could just do. This is a sacred role that places trust into you from others. If we really want someone to be a leader, then let us settle this with a vote. Shiba, Ida-kun has a point. As then Shiba Ryuji then stands up and walks towards the class and the center aisle, and then the class is silent as if something about Shiba is just screams authority and such. Why then Kirishima and Kaminari are impressed. See you, but we just met each other. How can we still trust each other in an instant? Shiba, our battle training should already teach you about trust on your team. Combine them into one class, and as one class we are one team. As then now that the votings are now in, as many have voted for themselves, and then later now the results are in. Shiba, 16 Izuku, 3 Momo, 2 Shiba, Sai. I guess I will take on the seat anyway. Kirishima, can you believe that? Man, you had that aura when you spoke to us about teamwork and also many things, and I hope we can have more what you have when you lead this class. Ida, I knew this would happen. It is a sacred job after all, but Shiba-san is more fitting for more when I observed him. Izuku, Shiba, now as your class rep, I will choose my vice president. Now then. Ida-kun. Ida, me. B, but why? Shiba, sometimes when I'm not around I need someone to see through and lead when the real head of the game is gone, so I will appoint you as my second. Ida, thank you so much. As then this election is now over, which then lunch break is now on, and Shiba is now eating some soba, and he is alone as usual, while then someone sits down with him again, and he smiled while he slurps down the noodles. Slurp. Shiba, you love sitting beside me, eh? Shiko. You are the only one I know somehow well here. Aside Momo-chan. Shiba, then what do you need to talk about? Momo, it is like you area somehow doing well on taking in responsibility. Did you have some history on doing something like this? Shiba, somehow. Also the day I held a sword, something in compelled me to take on every responsibility affected by the sword. Dead or alive? Momo, have you? Shoto, killed someone. Shiba, sigh, it is hard to keep this in me, and yes, I have killed. The last one was when Shuko arrived. Momo, what then you still use a sword? Shiba, I found a way to still use it. Well, it is using a reversed blade sword. Momo, wait, we never knew your quirk that much, and you summoned your sword out of nowhere. Shiba, my quirk allows me to manipulate molecules and manipulate them in any kind, whether create or manipulate to existence. Momo, no way. Shiba, As for you, me and yours are almost the same if you ask me in creation. Momo, B, but I need to use lipids and fats stored in my body to create. Sulk down as Shiba's quirk is more powerful in many aspects, plus also his fighting skills are almost top-notch in their level, and then Momo, so powerful. Shiba, Momo-san, do you come form a line of heroes? Momo, no I did not, but my family funds the heroes themselves to work hard and also financially do good while doing hero stuff. Shiba, and Shuko-chan. You re a Todoroki, right? Shuko then raised her hand a little as she got a little serious, which then she signals Shiba to not talk about it further, and then she said to him, Shuko, I'll tell you soon about my family, but yes indeed Todoroki are what you think it is. Shiba then went silence. He then looked back as his soba is now done, and he stood up and left the table for now, and then Shuko then sighed a little and Shoto said, Shoto, I think Shiba-san is very sharp on observing things. Sooner or later we have to tell him the truth somehow. Shuko, I know. Well, but Shiba-san is a nice guy, but to do the plan we do is making me feel bad somehow. Shoto, it's gonna be fine. When doing so, you let him down slowly somehow. Within Izuku's group it was revealed that Ida's family, or the Ida family, is a family of heroes which is also his brother. Ingenium, which then later, Izuku, actually about the entrance exam, Izuku, and alarm. Security 3 has been breached. All students must evacuate to the rooftop. Shiba, Ida-sen, get the students read. We have an emergency. We need to get them somewhere safe. Ida, hi Izuku W, what is going on? Shiba, there might be villains who have trespassed according to the seniors around here. Move. Ida, HAI. As everyone is now crowding on the halls and everyone is pushing everyone, while then Shiba is now going the opposite way, and then Shiba mind, molecular sensory. Beaten. As within the sensory technique, he has as within the disturbance within the file room of the UA where there is a trespasser, and then he dashed there. Beatism. He is now running on the walls, which he is faster than anyone could see, which now then Bim, as then there was a purple portal, and Shiba then summoned a kunai and threw T straight towards the trespasser, and somehow when he already got in the portal stuck it on its back and now paralyzed him. Shank, ga. Shiba then saw the portal close, and then he clicked his tongue, and then he was too late and the villain escaped, and also even so paralyzed due to the kunai to the spine, and then he looked on the window and then saw the reporter girl outside and then sighed. Shiba, sigh this reporter girl. Ida, JHK. Shiba, Shiba then dashed towards the place and again running on the walls and also jumping on air and made the air solid for his feet to lawn on. Shiba, IID. Uraraka, make him float. Achiko, HAI. Ida, Uraraka KUN. Pain. They touched hands and now Ida is now floating and Shiba pushed him towards the exit, and then now he is flying but his engine are on his legs, so he is now rolling on the air. Shiba jumps around once again and grabbed Kirishima and Kaminari up, and then beating, grab, Kaminari, WHA. Kirishima, WHO, Shiba BRO. Kaminari, we are saved. Shiba Ida. Beating, he created a megaphone and then he threw it on Ida, which then catches it, and now he started to yell through the megaphone to get everyone's attention. Ida, everyone, it is okay now. It is just a mass press. There is nothing to fear about. Shiba, this is UA, we should act accordingly and not panic like a bunch of ignorant fools. Any of you who are in a hero course, shame on you. You acted immaturely. This is UA. Ida, ACT, something that reflects our prestigiousness of this school. Meanwhile, outside of the school now, as everyone is now relaxed, as the police is now in the scene getting the reporters, as everyone hears the sirens of their cards, and now Shiba sighed also, and then he saw that Ida is getting down and he tripped down and he created an air pad on Ida's fall, somehow saving him. Ida, whoa boing. Ida then raised his hands signifying he is fine, and then Shiba then, who is also holding Kaminari and Kirishima, and then they also sighed as it is over now, and then Shiba had his mind on the other ladder. Shiba mind. The president broke through the gates. Meanwhile, outside, as they saw their gates are now broken, which made the press come in and how ruined it is, and then it is already afternoon, and then now Shiba looks Dinto at first, and then Shiba mind, ash. And from metal. Mind, metal rust from its own decay. Normally it would take time. The trespasser from the file room in the faculty room. He looked onwards and he narrowed his eyes in a deadly way, and then he took his katana with his left hand and carried it on his side, and then, Shiba mind, we have an enemy in our midst. Nizu, Shiba-san, you are here too. What are you doing here? Shiba, I just discovered how the press came in of sorts, and also on more important thing. Nizu, how 𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐷 reporters come like this, huh? Either they're declaring war or try to infiltrate us. Shiba stayed silent somehow because he is not too sure to tell there about what he saw in the file room where something's as surely stolen, and then he looked on to Yue again as he narrowed his eyes once again. The next morning, stay away for me heroes, didn't even think of following me. Or I will kill this wealthy family, All Might. It is alright family. Missouri. Smosh. Damn. Brack. All Might. Because I stopped by on my to work. Because I am not supposed to be Lati. As he jumped up as he heard another cry, and then he already saw Shiba having the car stopped on time, and he is on Yue uniform now while he also stopped it with a net he made with his quirk. All Might mind, Shiba shounen. That saves me a lot of time. Shiba, take care from now on. In the classroom. Aizawa, it's been decided that today's basic hero training will be taught by All Might, me and one other teacher. All Mind, decided. Zero, HAI. What do we need to do? Aizawa, anything from disasters to shipwrecks. Rescue training. Kaminari, rescue. This seems tough. Kirishima, don't be an idiot. This is an epitome of hero training. My arms are rumbling. Tsuyu, no one can stop me on the water. Shiba mind, unless poisoned. Aizawa, oi, I am still talking. As they ent silent and Aizawa continues the discussion or other an announcement of their new hero training. Aizawa, on this training you can wear your costume or not. Because some of what you wear now limits your movement. And also the training area is bit far, so we will go by bus. Start preparing. Later, as they are now outside and everyone is on their costumes as everyone chose to have on, while Shiba did not use his full costume however, as he is sleeveless this time. Shuko, Ryuji-san. You did not wear your sleeves now. Shiba, yeah indeed. Well, those are somehow might be on the way when I do my rescue training. We might be pulling ropes and many more and do first aid. Momo, indeed somehow. It makes sense. Shoto, well also we need to maximize our movement somehow. Either long sleeves but not loose or none at all. About Shiba's outfit, Shiba has a detachable sleeves, or rather a short coat that is basically just a sleeve and what is equal to a CRP top. He can remove it separately as it is just to keep him warm on the cold, or rather his complete uniform. Unlike many of the hero outfits of his classmates which are almost in one piece or only has some complementary stuff that would go as one. Shiba's outfit is a 2 to 3 parts. His undershirt is not made of cloth but rather made of flexible Kevlar. And also, large ribbon on his waist to honor and also his good luck charm. Ochako, Deku-kun, isn't that your gym clothes? Izuku, well my costume got ruined during the battle training, so yeah I am now using this. Later as bus arrived, Shiba and Ida are now doing what they must do as 2 class representatives. Shiba, alright, the bus is here. Gather around. Ida, go in with order. Shiba, Ida-kun, the bus is not the bus you think of. Ida, oh. Izuku mind, Ida-kun is on full throttle. Ida, so it ended up this kind of bus, Mina, it was pointless. Tsuyu, you know I just saw hat is on my mind. Midoriya-chan, Izuku, HAI. Azui-san. Tsuyu, I told you to call me Tsu. Your quirk is similar to All Might's. Izuku, W8. Really? But if you... Kirishima, but Tsuyu-san. All Might does not get injured by his own quirk. Shiba mind, DMN. A low blow there, Kirishima. But man, having some kind of a boost on strength and power is sure showy and versatile. My quirk is only good for close quarter combat. But well, I got thrown around by Shiba-san. Shiba, how is your arm now? Kirishima, it's okay now bro, your techniques are very versatile too. And speaking of why, Never saw you use your quirk. Shiba, hm. Oh, actually, Hen, we battled. I was actually using my quirk. The speed which I made the air not resist much, which made my running faster. Ida, wait, indeed the air resistance is something you would have slowing you done, but you like open the air to go through while running. Also you summoned a sword when that exam came to a start. Kirishima summoned a sword too. Shiba, well, I guess I only told my quirk to a few. Well, my quirk is molecular manipulation. I can control anything atomic and molecular, which today I can only minimize the usage of it to only air resistance cancel and detecting ND making a sword like this. FDZZM Clink Kirishima, whoa. So cool. But aside from Shiba-san, Todoroki twins and Bakugos are strong and flashy. Tsu, Bakugo is always said so he will never be popular. Katsuki, what the he? I will Kaminari, you know. It is amazing we just met, but we all know your personality is like CRP stead sewage. Shiba, he is born with a stick up his but far deep that would impale him. So it is natural for him to be this angry and yet like a dog untamed. Katsuki, damn you, what's wrong with your vocabulary, wanna die? Suddenly Shiba drew out his sword with a look with, dare to touch Kaminari and he might be the one dying. Look, why then he retreated and he is seething in anger, which also Izuku is shook at what SI happening right now. Izuku mind, Kaken is being teased. Momo, what a low-class conversation. Even a shocker form Shiba. Achiko, but I like it. Aizawa, we are almost there. Pipe down. Everyone, we have been waiting. Izuku, space hero, 13. A gentleman hero that excels in rescuing. Achiko, WHOA. 13, my favorite hero. 13, let's go inside. All, HAI. Going inside the USJ as they're now seeing in awe, while now they are amazed by the size and also how much hero facilities are in the place, which then made them excited for their first hero rescue training. And then Kirishima, WHOA. This is USJ. 13, shipwrecks, mudslides, fires, storms and much more. I built this facility to prepare new generation of heroes for any disasters. This I call Ultimate Simulation Joint. Or Aizawa, number 13, where is All Might? Shiba mind, he used up all of his time limit, huh? Can't be helped, he has to do his hero act and obligation. Oh well, can't be helped too. 13. As you all know, your own quirks can also kill, which is why the organization has some rules to ground them, which also why heroes are born. And also as heroes you can use your powers to help others. In Aizawa's physical test you saw your potential. With All Might's battle training you saw how dangerous it could be to use against people. This lesson will be different. We shall learn how to rescue with your powers. I want you to go home to realize too that your powers can also help others and you as a hero can be a hero with them too. That will be all, and thanks for listening. As suddenly Shiba could sense the danger now and he suddenly summoned his katana, as then Aizawa widened his eyes and he knew something is off when Shiba is summoning his katana. Shiba, trace. On. FB Dizidimum clack. Shuko, Ryuji-san. Ida, Shiba-kun. What is wrong? Aizawa, this is bad. Stay in one group. Thriteen, protect the students. Shiba with me. All, Hich. Kirishima, what is that? Has it already started like the exams? Shiba, no, those guys are. As some people now pulled in and then Izuku tried to move but was stopped by Shiba with his sheathed sword blocking him, and then he looked serious as so it is deadly. Shuko then widened her eyes as Shiba has another side she did not see clearly at night now can be seen in broad daylight. Aizawa, villains. Everyone is shocked to see villains on their first time and they're out for BLD, and Shiba is now ready to fight again, which he seemed calm and someone noticed. Ida mind, Shi-san is very calm. As if he already had experience against them. Shuko mind, the killer Shiba is still there only to be held back by his new sword. But then, if so, this will be the first time I see him fight. He fights alongside with Mr. Aizawa. So we only got Eraserhead and 13, huh? In the schedules that I have received, All Might should be here. Aizawa, so they're the ones who broke in the other day. Shiba, However, I paralyzed one of them, but they have already got away. And the other one who might be a threat other than All Might. 𝐶H, where are you? I have gathered a big crowd for nothing. All Might, the symbol of peace, is not here. What will he come if I kill a kid? Or more? As everyone looked afraid, and Shiba then drew out his katana, and then Aizawa then nodded to start, and then Kirishima, Thea stupid for entering the hero school grounds. Shiba, no they are not. They have indeed broke in successfully when the press entered the school that day. Ida, what? Shiba, it is in the file room in UA where they got the schedules of our hero training why is now. Or rather something else. Momo, isn't there a trespassing censor? 13. Of course we have. Shoto, did only them appear here or the whole school? Either way. Shuko, they had someone with a quirk to jam signals or someone with a kit. A facility far from school and also and as class is going on. Shoto, they are fools but not dumb. This is also a well-planned attack too. Shoto then looks back on Shiba and then he narrowed his eyes and he though something else is going on as for Aizawa and Shiba's team up to deal with the treat. Shoto mind, but also did not expect a student that will go with a teacher. Especially the class rep, Aizawa. 13 start evacuating. 13, and Shiba will come with us. Aizawa, I am gonna need some helping hand who can actually fight. As then, Kaminari use your quirk to call in the backup to Izuku, sensei. You are gonna fight all of them by yourselves. Aizawa, heroes have one more trick up their sleeve when their specialty does not work. Shiba, also. You know already too well Izuku my swordsmanship is built for one versus many. All are somehow shocked at Shiba's words as he is now on fighting mode and now then Shiba and Aizawa then went on now to fight the large number of villains. As they jumped to action and Shiba jumped high and now his sword is now out of his sheath and went to the other side with Aizawa on his position and everyone as they charged and stopped on their tracks and then clang. Slammed his sword on the other people on the head thing out some of them which he dashes in and starts to maul a lot of enemies all by himself. While running and stopping Ro a bit to fight 3 by himself. Clang biding bam bam brack. Running and also kicking the other to use as a jump board breaking the man's ribs then slammed his reverse sword on the head giving him some cracked skull. Aizawa then used his quirk which the shooter quirks cannot even waste their ammo and later Aizawa tied them up and slammed their heads together and slammed them on the ground. Idiot he is eraser head. Erase. Can you erase mutated ones clank? Suddenly Shiba came in and gave the man concussion with the slam of his sword and then grabbed someone's leg and he hits another on the head. Dang, go. Wait SNT. He is student. And he is... Shiba then grabbed 2 punches and dragged them down and someone even got their elbows broken 80 degrees back. 𝐶𝐮𝐿𝐴. Yeah. My arm aya. One then tried to push Shiba but he spins over him and breaks his arm again. 𝐶𝐿𝐴. Aha. No. The 2 can do hand-to-hand combat and also one can use a sword. And both. Shiba then later went on another ground rampaging again which his sword hits many heads to sleep while he grabbed another man with his arm and then points around them to keep them distance. His swordsmanship is top-notch. But does he even use his quirk against them? Aizawa meanwhile again dashed around and kicks and punches the enemies even mutated or ones who can use a quirk and with his capture weapon he used sit to tie them down. And slam around, Izuku, amazing. Shiba and Eraserhead are doing so well in the combat but Shiba broke many arms today again. Ida. In no time to analyze let's go. Izuku, HAI. As formed the floor, the students are blocked from escaping as the portal then opened up and he shows up and now. 𝐶𝐮𝐿𝐴. I won't let you. Shiba mind, I forgot about that guy. Aizawa mind, SHT. I just blinked. And he got away. Clang. Shinsk. Damn. Shiba arrived at Aizawa's side and then he said to Shiba. Aizawa, thanks for the initial clearing but I need you to save as many students there when they might get separate. Shiba, on it. But I have to clear my way there. Aizawa, do as you want but do not kill. Shiba, hi, yellow there. We are the League of Villains. We have humbly let ourselves in UA facilities. The nest for future heroes and to have All Might have his last breath. I heard All Might is supposed to be here. But has there been a change in routines? However, 'tis is what I came for. Click as 13 is about to fight back, and then Katsuki and Kirishima attacked the portal man, and then Kirishima, Katsuki, boom. Kirishima, didn't you think we wouldn't destroy you first? Very dangerous. Indeed dangerous. Yes, although you are still golden egg her gene, the school all are just students. 13, get away there, two of you. The reason I am here is to scatter you and beat you to death. They all got scattered around the USJ, as meanwhile with Izuku himself got to the water and WS about to attacked by a shark villain, which Tsuyu came in clutch and kicked him way. No grudges, kid, and goodbye. Damn. Tsuyu, Midoriya-chan. BLRMP. Rap. Husum. As they swim up, and Tsuyu is now swimming up fast and now getting to the high ground possible, which is the ship, and placed there. She placed Izuku softly, and then Mineta, well, after his perversion, he was slammed to the boat hard, somehow almost breaking his back. Mineta, Izuku, thanks for the help. Azui-san. Tsuyu, call me Tsu. Tsuyu, our situation is not good. And it's very bad. Shiba and Aizawa are still fighting on, as Shiba then runs so fast around the R a while, then later kicked the last one, making him tumble down and hit the ground face first, and Shiba fights on with Aizawa while clearing Din, trying to find his classmates after the portal man warped all of them. Shiba mind, Shoto, everyone. Izuku, where the hell are you? As Shiba is still fighting around straight while he jumps around, and then now he is running around and he heard some voices, and then Mineta. But there is no way they can kill All Might, right? They can shredded them to pieces. Shiba mind, Mineta-san. Shiba then stopped for a while, and then he heard them form the shipwreck and jumped there, and then Hushim. Izuku incoming. Clackm as Shiba arrived, and then they are happy to see him, and they're found, and then Shiba then sensed many of the water-type villains around them. Shiba, Mineta, don't you think they would go this far not being prepared? Tsuyu, do you think they would go this far because they can kill him? Didn't the villain told us they could beat us to death? Do you think we can hold out until All Might comes? Even if he comes, will he survive? Mineta, Midoriya. Shiba-san. What is wrong with her? Shiba, she is actually making sense. Sloshim. Shiba, here they come. Mineta, they are too many. Shiba, get to the shoreline. Izuku, you'd owe your thing for now, I need to find someone. Shiba then summoned a bow and arrow and shot the villains and softened them up and explodes on their faces, knocking them out and stunning them so bad they went unconscious. Bang beat them and bang. Gaha guh. Mineta. What do we do? Meanwhile on the landslide are which then Shoto and Shuko just cleared the villains so fast with their combined ice powers, and then just as they entered. Clang 𝐶𝐮𝐦𝐬𝐽𝐻. Shoto, how pathetic to lose to a child. Shuko, aren't you an adult? Do better. Everyone is fighting for their lives now and fighting to survive, and while Shiba senses them ready to fight off the enemies, he convinced himself that they are not just some kids who needed constant watchful eye from the superiors, but rather also one's also training to become a hero. Shiba mind, everyone can fight on their own. But not in the way I can, but sure they can still fight. Flight to Phi responses are good to see. Shuko. I see you are with Shoto. Shiba is now looking round to help other students escape their trap, but Shiba has his own problems as he in his area, which he then later parried another of the attacks while hitting his shoulder with his sword while he dashes on towards the fireplace of the USJ to meet up with someone there. Clang. Shiba is now pushing through while then he just some kind of a wishful thinking. Shiba mind, man, it is hard not to kill. I am sued to using a sharp katana. This one is like a thin metal with a sharp edge. Well then. Who's can't clank? Shiba, As Shiba then grabbed one of the enemies and then slams him down and pushed his elbow on the opposite direction, snapping the elbow joints, and the crunchy snap then be heard, and then WHMPP. Snap. Crunch. Got. My arm, what the hell is this brat? Damn bam bam. Beatism. Shiba then blitzes around to kick down the enemies, and he heard an explosion just near the shipwreck, and then Beating. Shiba. Shiba then saw someone attacking him and then he slams his sword on the head and then later he saw that Izuku and Tsuyu now escaped by Izuku's genius plan and then. Shiba mind. Thank goodness they did well. Shiba then punched another and when then he looked on Shigaraki's eyes with now a deadly stare why made him flinch and now then. Shigaraki mind. D'amend this kid. Looking at me with those murderous eyes. You wanna kill me don't you? Too bad heroes don't kill but I beat. Shiba dashed towards him, and then his sword is now something else other than blunt which is now sharp and Shiba used his quirk on the blade to make it vibrate as it is now sharp even when then. Shigaraki, and Nomu. Shiba then dashes in and sashed the Nomu instead but he was protected by it and then. Shiba got punched but he enhanced his skin and blocked it also with his arm and then he was sent flying towards the mountain area. Shuko mind, killing All Might. Though they already have brought their best. Shota mind, they have already looked like mere pawns. From what I see there are 5 what is truly dangerous. Hushim. Shiba was now seen sent flying after the Nom's hit and then Shiba then saw how he is going towards the landslides first which he then lands on the next group that is about to attack. Huzum. Ding, Gajra. Shiba just moved his head avoiding the knife and slammed his head with his sword. Dink. GH. Shuko, Ryuji-san. Shoto, you were on a rough place. You attacked with all you got with that 1 versus army of yours. Shiba, sigh indeed. However there is something that bothers me though. Shoto, you saw them too huh? Shiba, indeed sharpened my sword with a quirk and tear his some truly strong there aside the other one with the hand patches. Which caused me to fly away. Shuko, Ryuji-san. Your arm. Shiba then looked at his trembling arm and he sighed as it is largely bruised but he could still use his sword and grip his sword and then. Shuko, let me numb it. Shuko cooled off his arm to numb it a little for the pain to go away and then Shiba sighed and thanked her with a smile and then. Shoto, you know, if you stay frozen you will die. Shuko, your cells will slowly die. But I want to become a hero. So spit it out now. 𝐬𝐮𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐸𝐻. Shiba, on what basis do you think you can kill All Might? As one of the guys are now crying in fear as the sword that is slowly slashed on his neck to maximize the pain and also terror and then he then stabbed his shoulder shink. Shiba, spit it out 1 turn and slash of this blade will kill you. Shiba, electricity. Kaminari. Shiba then later left his sharp sword into the guy, he stabbed and dashed towards the place and left the twins there and then. Shuko, you left your sword here. Shoto, not now Shuko. But however we will get what they planned. Clink. Shigaraki, don't push yourself there. Erase your head. Beaties. Bam. Gra. Disarmament. My elbow is crumbling. Huzum. Aizawa 10-in and then cracked 2 more villains on his eyesight and now he is surrounded by the enemy with his elbow crumbling. Shigaraki, that quirk is not meant for long-drawn battles and fighting large groups right. This must be way different from what you normally work right. You are not like the other brat, who could fight as many as he can truly. You see everything around you is mostly by that brat. You call yourself a teacher after that. Yet you charged in so that your students won't worry about everything. Huzum b dizimum crack. Gah. Shigaraki, you are so cool. So cool. By the way hero. The real boss is not me done. Hushim. Squelch. As then Aizawa is taken out of the commission now and was taken down by the monster brutally as everything is now going down the drain as Shiba detected 2 of the teachers are now down and then he is heading for the mountain where now Jiro and Momo are now in a hostage situation as now the Kaminari who became as dumb as a little Esmerm now is a hostage not until. Shiba then summoned his bow and arrow and then without any second though not even knowing his arrow is a lethal arrow and then. Thwang. Beaties. Suklek splash. Momo, W, Taro, and a dash. Shiba then later manipulates the air around him and dashes towards the R where Aizawa is and then. Whooshim. Shigaraki, you came to save your teacher. No. Kill that boy. Hushim. Shiba then landed and rolled under it and slashed it with something and he saw that it regenerated in an instant and then later. Huzum. Bam bam. Shiba is now enhancing his body and parrying the 𝐻𝐻𝐿's ferocious attacks like almost with some effort, which he is now jumping backwards and then push him. The 𝐻𝐻𝐿 tried to grab his face and then his wrist then grabbed and threw him to the ground, giving Shiba the time to back away, but then Shiba-san is deflecting and parrying its attacks. My mind. 𝐻𝐻𝐿, what the hell is this guy? Is he really a student like us? Taking a chunk of debris and then threw it at Shiba, and he slashed the boulder in half, and then the 𝐻𝐻𝐿 is already on his face, and then later he dodged it and later pushed it towards Shigaraki, but it stopped there. Push him. Shiba. Shiba then summoned some fire on his palm and then striked its heart, and it did even nothing, but it hurt Shiba's hand, as he knew he is as sturdy as a flesh rock too. Shiba. You are sturdy, I see. Well then, time to up the notch. Shiba then swipes his hand, and then suddenly a slash then appeared on the 𝐻𝐻𝐿, which shocked Aizawa and the others. Shinning. Slash. Aizawa mind. A slash. With his hand. Shigaraki mind. Oi oi oi, what is this brat's quirk? Does he have many too? Shiba then dashed and kicked its brain, disorienting the 𝐻𝐻𝐿, and then Shiba, Kai. Shing. Squelch. Another 3-slash attack form out of nowhere, and the 𝐻𝐻𝐿 is trying to attack Shiba, but Shiba is very fast, which then he repositions, and he tried to do that again but was punched so hard by the 𝐻𝐻𝐿 reached to the staircase. Shiba, the Shimbum. Midoriya, Shiba Saiyan. Shigaraki, it was fun to see him fight. Well, I guess that is it for him. Now then, before all that. Huzum. Shigaraki, let us you kill something that is worth the symbol of peace. Attention, thwang. Squelch. Shigaraki's arm got impaled by an arrow, and then later looked over and saw Shiba with his bow and arrow, and he is breathing heavily but he is smirking, and then Shiba, you think IF died? Think again, beach. Shiba then later looks on the 𝐻𝐻𝐿, which is still holding Aizawa once again, and then he walked down the stairs feeling okay, and he is just stretching. Shiba mind. That punch was as strong as All Might I would presume his strength would be. His strength's close combat with his enhanced body of something of a monster, judging of its movement. Slashing him with molecular technique I just came out with. Now then. Round 2. Shiba then suddenly slashed something with his hand and on the air, which affected the 𝐻𝐻𝐿, and then dashed in while the 𝐻𝐻𝐿 also clashed with Shiba while he spins around. Slashing him around to buy time for Aizawa and Izuku to escape with the others, and Shigaraki could not believe how Shiba is keeping up with the 𝐻𝐻𝐿 on his punches. Bam shink. Slash. Slash. Bam. Shiba, JHK. Wanna go. Shiba and the 𝐻𝐻𝐿 then is now on a matchup and then destroying runs around the place, and Shigaraki could not believe what he is seeing, while then later. 𝐶𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Squelch. Splat. Shiba mind. High-speed regeneration. Shiba then gets into its space and kicks it on the face. 𝐻𝐻𝐿 then grabbed him and threw him up, and its arm was minced to flesh meat and its leg was also cut off. Beating. Shiba, JHKK. Shiba was then slammed down by a regenerating 𝐻𝐻𝐿, and then as with it, quick punch before Shiba could react, now the doors then suddenly bashed open. Bam. All. And now All Might is there now, and then. All Might, have no fear. Because I am here. Shiba, better late than never. Shiba then touched the stomach of the 𝐻𝐻𝐿 and slashed it many times and kicked him away. Beat him. As everyone is having a welcome surprise and relief, and now Shiba is now also standing up again, and he is now stretching up again, he is now looking on All Might in his glory, and then he sighed. Shiba mind, All Might. Well then. As now Shiba gets up fully, and then he is now also locked in to battle the 𝐻𝐻𝐿 again for himself for now, while All Might then taps his shoulders, and then. All Might, young Ryuji. You did well on holding on fighting. However, a child like you must not fight in the place of adults, yet you are beaten up for a while now. You must rest. Shiba, All Might. I took an oath. On my temple. Until the last drop. So can't, All Might, it is too early to drop dead. Go help me also by clearing the evacuation. Shiba, hi. 𝐶𝐮𝐵𝐵 bam bam boom. All Might blitzed around the enemy who underestimated him, which is such a huge mistake after they all got knocked out and saved 𝐻𝐻𝐼𝐻𝐼 formed the bunch, and All Might looked at him as 𝐻𝐻𝐼𝐻𝐼 looked mangled and unconscious, just a step away from life. All Might, I'm sorry 𝐻𝐻𝐼𝐻𝐼-kun. As then Shiba is now doing his part and dashed towards 𝐬𝐿𝐿, Mineta and 𝐶U, and they are almost at the blink of an eye now away from the battlefield, and even 𝐻𝐻𝐼𝐻𝐼 is with them, and then Shiba also slashed Shigaraki on the face also, and the hand fell off of his face while he retreats off, and then All Might mind, he has the same speed as me, which is something else also at his age, and he is very reliable as a student, and also maybe something else. Now I can truly focus on my battles. Shigaraki. Dad, I'm sorry, please. He is so fast and with such violence too. But he seemed not that fast today. So it is true he is getting weaker. Izuku, All Might. You must not. When I used my quirk it did not work, but Shiba's done something to brittle it. If you might be able to fight you should, All Might. Midoriya shounen. I'll be fine. As the peace sign then made Shiba move away now to the staircase, and then he places then down as then Izuku said to Shiba, and then Izuku, Shiba san. You need to help All Might. I know you could. Shiba, no Izuku, he said to not to worry about him. I know you are worried about him. But not now to act like you did on that day. This is a far more dangerous place to do your hero work. Izuku, then why did you, Shiba? As your class president also I need to help 𝐻𝐻𝐼𝐻𝐼, and he also asked nicely. Now that 𝐻𝐻𝐼𝐻𝐼 is down I must not do much more. All Might, Carolina 𝐶𝐮𝐻𝐿. As All Might did an X-formed attack which then it did not even affect Nomu, which All Might dodges and tried to hit more on the Nomu to try and defeat him. Trying to hit on its face, but it seriously did not hurt him still. Now backing away as he is avoiding its attacks to not get hurt by its beastly strength. Shigaraki. It won't work. It has shock absorption. If you want to damage the Nom you must claw out its flesh. As if it would let you do that grab. All Might, thank you for that. Now it makes things easier. All Might then grabbed it from the waist and lifted him up to do a German duplex to slam him down to deal damage to the Nomu, but then bosom. Beating. Meanwhile Shiba on the top stairs where Izuku is now leaving him there, and then he saw and heard what Shigaraki said and he took notes of it to strategize how to defeat the Nomu in just a few blows. Shiba mind, alright. Shock absorption. Make it absorb more than what it could. Also there is the brain. Sato, that's the way. They is All Might. They underestimated All Might. Shiba, hold your horses. Shiba stopped him from expecting too much as Shiba is now cautious and observing the fight on the distance, which then he narrowed his eyes and then eyes on Izuku who is now trying to do something, and then WHP Shiba, Izuku. If you want to do something you will have to take responsibility of yourself. I see cannot always stop you from doing anything reckless. Only both of us know his secret. However the fight is not over. Izuku, W. Everyone is shocked that All Might is outnumbered in this battle as a portal of 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 is there and Shiba is narrowing his eyes. Shiba, as this world is full the phenomena called unfairness. Shigaraki, you plan to drive him into the concrete so he could not move. You would not still able to do that because it is almost or rather the same power as you. The portal gave us a silver plat to win. Squelch. Shigaraki, this is good 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. All Might mind, my weak spot. Trying to pry the fingers open to get out, but he could not as the grip is as strong as him as he is grunting and more while then. Shigaraki, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, I dislike BLD and guts filling me around. But of yours I will accept. The Nom's job is to immobilize you. So I would do the final blow. The portal is now closing to rip him in half and then. Izuku, Shiba. I'm sorry. I have to do this. Shiba, go ahead, I am behind you. Izuku mind, no. No. All Might. There are still more things you need to teach me. Izuku, All Might. Push him. Shiba follows Izuku now and then All Might is somehow shocked to see Shiba and Izuku charging there and then 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, how naive. Shiba, Izuku. Retreat. As Izuku could not stop on time and then Katsuki arrived, saved him, formed the portal and pulled the metal brace on its neck and then pinned him down. Boom. Katsuki, out of the way, Deku. Quickly. As two kinds of ice then freezes the 𝐴𝐻𝐻 arm and then Shiba gets in and slashes the arm off and All Might cracks it and then he dashed beside Shuko. All Might, freezing. The twins. 𝐶𝐻𝐶KKK/ All Might, Ryuji shounen. Shiba, you cleared your path towards here. Shuko, hi. Your insight was correct. Kirishima then dashed and jumps towards Shigaraki and he avoided his punch and jumped away and Kirishima then clicked his tongue, his missed shot and then. Kirishima, DMNIT. I did not get a hit. Katsuki, don't try to act cool. Thing extra. Shoto, symbol of peace cannot be thwarted by evil. Shuko, more or less to the lesser thugs like you with a beast. As everyone is now surrounding them and is now assisting All Might and Shiba is now having those deadly eyes focused on Shigaraki as his hand on the sheath and then. Shigaraki mind, I need to handle that brat first. His eyes are getting on my nerves. Shigaraki, 𝐴𝐻𝐻. As the 𝐴𝐻𝐻 is now recovering from the orders while Shiba then looks at the beast himself now regenerating and also fast and Shiba took another nod in mind. Shiba mind, regeneration. Another point. All Might, all you get back. What the heck, I thought his quirk is only shock absorption. Shigaraki, I did not tell you he has one quirk, he also has high-speed regeneration. Shiba mind, weakness found. The hottest flame one could possess. Shigaraki, 𝐴𝐻𝐻 designed to par your 100% but first W need to retrieve our gate. 𝐴𝐻𝐻. As 𝐴𝐻𝐻 then suddenly bursted in speed past All Might towards Katsuki as he is shocked to see such speed on an organism and then. Woozum. BD. All Might, fast. As it is about to hit Katsuki and then suddenly something flew out of the way and a huge impact then happened sending them flying away. BD-zimbum. Shuko. Izuku-ga. Shoto, Jujike. Kirishima, wo, bo. Izuku, kaken. Shiba then covered his eyes and then he is the one actually saved Katsuki again as All Might was also the one who took the shield for Shiba to save Katsuki and then now Katsuki is shocked to see such speed. Izuku, kaken. Katsuka mind, I could not see anything. Kirishia, then now did you Shiba, teach. It almost took off my arm. Shiba was now having a broken dangling dislocated arm as he is known pain but tried to ignore it while he looked ahead and then. Shuko, Ryuji san. Shiba, I'm okay. Moreover we have to move. We might be in his way. Kirishima, your arm. You it is. A gnarly sound of flesh moving and recovering and also bone is now being relocated to its original position as he regenerates himself with his quirk Shiba. Now then. Shigaraki, you know All Might. I am angry of this world. Where the same violence is categorized into bad and good, hero and villain. You call yourself a symbol of peace. You are nothing but a tool for violence too. Only violence breeds violence. To make it clear, I will kill you. All Might, you are a maniac. Ideological villains should have passion in their eyes. But you just want to have fun. Shigaraki, oh, you saw through me. Shuko, 6 versus 1. Kirishima, we need to support All Might, all we could do, Hushim beating. Shiba went straight to the 𝐴𝐻𝐻 and he summoned something on his hand and it somehow shocked all of them and he bursted something on the emu, stunning it while jumping over it. All Might, Ryuji shounen. Shigaraki mind, he stunned the 𝐴𝐻𝐻. Impossible. Don't tell me. He has figured the 𝐴𝐻𝐻 out. Shiba, super strength. Regeneration. Shock absorption. Super strength is the only one which cannot be countered easily. But the other two is so easy to do. Shiba's hands then blackened and then the fire then begins to spread through Shiba's arms and then he gets to a karate stance and the 𝐴𝐻𝐻 begins to see Shiba as a threat and then later. Beating. Brfarzi. Shiba, Jujutshiki Tenkai, Iron Compass. Esigaraki, 𝐴𝐻𝐻. Hushim. Shiba, annihilation. Shiba is now prepared for new round with the 𝐴𝐻𝐻 as this time it is different when he fights it. He knows now the patterns of his hands while he attacks Shiba. Beam bam dum bam. Shiba later parries all of its attacks, but he saw through one and then did something to the 𝗏𝗏 to nerf him down. Shiba tats the black flames beach. Shiba then palms him, and he burns the 𝗏𝗏 with his black flames, and form within something is now being burned down, and Shiba is now burning the quirk regeneration now before eyeing smacked away by the 𝗏𝗏. Bam. Shiba, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫. Bam. All Might, thank you so much. Ryuji Shounen. Shiba is now out of commission as he is now unconscious as he used black flames, and he burned off the quirk somehow of regeneration to take him down, while All Might takes some the fight himself, barraging the fists around each other, causing so much pressure around the place and rubble, while then the five are watching it happen while Shiba with one eye open then smirked. Shiba mind, one's lowest point can be someone's highest point. One hero can make both the same thing. One's nature is found when one is at its lowest. All Might rises faster when he is on pressure like this. Barrage of fists then flies to each other and hits around, making the ground explode all over the place, and also the wind blows hard, as suppose that the kids and 𝐬𝐮𝐿 would fight, but impossible in the presence of All Might and the 𝗏𝗏. All Might, if your quirk is not shock resistant but absorption, then there must be a limit, right? Bam. All Might's weak side was hit, but it did not matter as he continues on fighting at full strength, going beyond limits, while then he screams once again. All Might, you were designed to against me. Against my 100%. The eye can go beyond 100%. As he is now getting some damage for the 𝗏𝗏, and also he got damaged by the 𝗏𝗏's punch too. The adrenaline is at the highest point, and All Might is fighting like a champion of the gods, and everyone witnessing the strength of their number one hero closely. Winning the battle. Izuku mind, even if he is bleeding, he is giving his all. He is also not hating randomly. Each punch is beyond 100%. Shiba mind, Kokusen, is something like this. But he is constantly doing the same. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, Shuko, Shiba san. Rest now. All Might, bam. All Might. A hero can turn every single bad situation good. All Might is now on the winning side of the scale of the battle when he is now just practically throwing around the 𝗏𝗏 like a doll, and he then shoots down from the air, and he said, All Might, hey villain. Have you ever heard these lines? Go beyond. All Might, plus UTRA. Damn. Boom. Such strong punch that can be felt on every area of the USJ on All Might's full power, when then Shiba is now awake as he raised his hands and he crushed it to a fist, and then Shiba, Black Flame Arts. Inferno's Chain Prison. Clink. Fortune beateth. Disintegrated the 𝗏𝗏 on mid-air, and he then lays back down, and he is now breaking hard as the concentration of the energy is too much for him to bear, to say the least, and then he said to himself, Shiba mind, not yet, huh? This is my limits indeed for now. Kirishima, he nullified the shock absorption. It is almost too comical. His power is almost absolute. Katsuki, what an insane power. This is 𝗏𝗱 mind, the top. Shuko mind, how the heroes work. Close up. All Might, I have surely weakened now, huh? In my prime 5 hits is enough. Now it took more than 300 hits. Now then. Villain. Don't want to end this quickly. Shigaraki. UDMN. Cheat. Farsu.